largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation, and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F as in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke, because every second counts.
All of us have a role to play in promoting a mental health-friendly workplace.
Whether we're a CEO,
manager,
coworker,
or someone with a mental health condition ourselves.
So what can I do to help?
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Ooh, it is hot and steamy out there. High of 94, but feeling more like upper 90s with the heat index. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms from the Triangle area northward for this afternoon and evening. Damaging wind and hail would be our biggest threat. 73 tonight, and then tomorrow's hot and humid too. High of 93, feeling more like upper 90s, but fewer thunderstorms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 288 points to 42,611. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Stahl gets a chance, and he scores! There's a huge goal for the captain. Puck comes back to Chikrin, goes across to Ovechkin in his office, and he misses. Anderson got an arm to it. Svechnikov, he'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov! Now Jarvis has an empty net. Jarvis, bingo! And the Carolina Hurricanes have won this second round series.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. The Canes are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Canes are going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And one more time for the people in the back.
The Canes are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I almost knocked my mic off the stand. There we go. The Canes are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. To the Eastern Conference Finals. One more time. I mean, Andrei Svechnikov with no angle to take the lead with less than 2 minutes left. Seth Jarvis with the shorthanded goal to seal it. Who let us off? Who got us started? Who was the first goal scorer? The captain? You darn right. How's that taste? Washington?
Salty.
How's that taste? Everybody out there that called the Canes boring?
Salty.
Is the Eastern Conference Finals boring? All right, let's go. Let's lock in. It's not just about making the Eastern Conference Finals. It's about how they made the Eastern Conference Finals. It's about who helps them find their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's about beating both the Devils and the Caps in 5 games. It's about doing the things that people said the Canes couldn't do. Winning on the road. They're above 500 in the road in the postseason right now, 3-2. They won 2 games at Washington. Oh, their system doesn't work in the post. The Caps were one of the top scoring teams in the entire NHL this year. Canes held them to what, 7 goals? How about it? Closeout game. It's the toughest. 2-1, right? 2-1, 3-1. That's all it takes. That's all. By the way, they were down 2-1 there for like a minute. Shout out to Rod Brindamore for the challenge. Take that one off the board. No harm, no foul. Playoff Andrei Svechnikov. Whatever the it factor is, X factor, the thing where when the game gets brighter, the spotlight gets brighter, the player gets better, Andrei has it. The storyline. Andrei Svechnikov's rookie year. They're playing the big, bad, bully Washington Capitals fresh off of their Stanley Cup. And Ovechkin and Svech go with a very unusual decision. They drop the gloves in the playoffs, and Ovechkin lands a knockout blow. Svech, all these years later, percolating, stewing, plotting his revenge in the postseason, lands a different kind of knockout blow, sends the Capitals home. The storylines. Sebastian Aho didn't even register a shot on goal yesterday in a clincher. I wanted him to register 100 shots on goal. He didn't register a single one. He went the entire series without scoring a goal. But in Game 5, the clincher, in the send-them-home game and don't-come-back game, tied for the team lead in hits with 7. Sebastian Aho. Right, supposed to be the guy that's all finesse, right? Supposed to be the guy, the Canes don't care about size. They just go get players that are a little small and skilled. That guy, 7 hits in the game.
7.
He and Stahl tied for the team lead. Stahl, that one makes sense. That one's, 6'4", 225, whatever he is. Yeah, that one makes sense. And Sebastian Aho, when he was on the ice, the Canes won by 2. They had a +2 with him on the ice. He continues to be a very difficult to wrap my head around and fully comprehend superstar, but regardless if I can make sense of it or not, Sebastian Aho's leading his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Go back to the quote after Game 5 of the Devils series, right, because they finished at home. So the Stars interview, right, the 3 stars and one gets the interview. Sebastian Aho. Obviously, we're not here to make the second round. We're here to go all the way. Job is not done. Well, job is about halfway done if you're trying to go all the way. 2 series down, 2 more to go, and it'll start with either Toronto or Florida in the next round. That was, for lack of a better term, a very Canes win. It was I'm talking about the series, a very Canes series. What was the final, what did it end up with? 15 goals?
15-7 goal-wise.
15-7. 15 goals, was it 12 goal scorers?
11.
11 goal scorers. That is a Canes, and with Svech scoring a bunch of them.
Yeah, so, Svech had 3 in the series.
So there was Svech, 3. Everybody else got involved somehow. Darn near everybody else got involved. Here's
Jordan Stahl, who scored his first goal of the series to start things off yesterday, on getting contributions throughout the entire lineup.
We've loved the way this team has kind of come together and everyone's little roles and scoring is big in playoffs, and especially the way we play, always a lot of tight games, so every goal is huge, and when everyone's kind of chipping with that, it takes pressure off of guys like Svetch, and it's important to kind of keep doing that.
I have a lot of favorite parts. You're going to hear me today. Today is the day for me that like the ESPN debate shows have for top 5 quarterbacks. I don't know if people notice this, but they say like that guy's top 5, and they'll say that throughout the show to 12 different players, and just no one makes them count. I'm going to tell you my favorite part about the win 10 times today. And it's going to be a different part every time. You know what was my favorite part about that series win? And it's going to be different just because I liked it all. My favorite part about that series win is you could tell the Canes as an organization, and I believe the Canes players, kept receipts. The moment that thing went final, Canes Twitter puts out a video of people calling them boring with just the little caption there, right? Is the Eastern Conference Finals boring, or whatever the wording was? Brent Burns. You don't think Brent Burns heard everybody all year? Oh, looks ancient. Oh, he's moving slow. Oh, another turnover. That guy was on the ice a ton, by the way, in the series. 1 goal allowed when he was on the ice. Brent Burns played well. Dmitry Orlov played well. Obviously, I mean, Jacob Slavin. It's less surprising, but played well. Sean Walker played well.
He was outstanding.
Right? They heard you. Andrei Svetch, count me amongst them. I was looking for explanations as to why the pop from Andrei Svechnikov wasn't around anymore. We were looking at the miles per hour on the GPS that he wasn't reaching, that he was early in his career. We're talking about maybe the injuries got. Postseason showed up. What happened? Turned into playoff Andre. He's been one of the best players on the ice most games. While adding all of this goal scoring, second leading goal scorer in the postseason, by the way, 1 goal behind Mikko Rantanen. But if we're being real, 2 games less than Mikko Rantanen. So, I mean, right now, if you gave Svetch 2 more games, I'm expecting a goal. That's going on. He's not going to the box, which...
Shh. Hey, don't tell him that.
Actually, I shouldn't say going. This should all be past tense. So he might be going to the next one. He hasn't gone to the box in a while. If you're a superstitious person, I will pause the show so you can knock on wood, throw salt over your shoulder, spin around 3 times and spit. Whatever you do to reverse jinx, here's your time. Now back to it. Nikishin played, had moments up and down, but now that seal is broken. The wrapping has been ripped off, and you can let him play or not play depending on what the roster calls for. I believe it'll be big if Jalen Chatfield can come back. He was missed. And you know what was my favorite part of the win, of this series win? Freddie Anderson. Freddie Anderson, this postseason, is unreal to the point where he might be getting taken for granted, which is absurd based on, A, how good he's playing, and B, how maybe wavering our confidence has been in the goalie situation for the Canes. But he's played 10, he did miss one. 9, what is it? What do we have? 9? He played 9, 8.5. Really good games in goal. And that goes for last night as well. There is something about this team that is different. There is something about this team where the vibes or the mindset is right, and that cannot be overlooked. But I think everybody's mindset in hockey of any kind, if you're a skater, your mindset, it's easier to be right in your mindset when you trust the guy behind you. And that's been Freddie. That's been Freddie. I've been using, just because I of where, I went to college and where some of my family lives, I have some friends that are Caps fans, which, by the way, I'm really enjoying the last 24 hours. I have group chats with mostly Caps fans, and I've been using them as a barometer. I I will tell you something that happened last night for them that I watched in real time that the smile has not come off my face. I will tell you that when we come back here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is it is just perfect. And by the way, Spencer Carberry, the coach of the Caps, echoed the same point from my group chats in the postgame. So that's coming up next. But first, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. You know what? There's a lot of occasions coming up, right? Graduations are going on. I'm seeing, we were walking downtown. You just see people walking around with gowns and caps and everything, taking pictures. Anniversaries, big milestones, right? You're starting to hit the end of school years and everything else. Bailey's Fine Jewelry is your go-to for unforgettable gifts. They have this selection of fine and designer jewelry, as always, in the main showroom. You go to the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. There is nothing better to mark the passage of time than something that literally keeps time. We're talking Omegas. We're talking pre-owned and vintage Rolex, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Norcanes, Hamiltons, G-Shock, Timex, something for everybody. Nomos. There's a great new pre-owned and vintage Cartier display. Stop out. They aren't just watches. They're icons, and they're great for gift-giving season. So be sure to check them out at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically their Village District location in Raleigh. That is where the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and the Omega Boutique, which is the largest of its kind. It's a shop-in-shop for Omega. It's all at Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop Village District location in Raleigh. I'll tell you my favorite part of the reaction from the Caps to the Canes ending the series. And we have to lean in. Svetch. Canes talk coming up.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons at 12:15 and 4:15 for our Cup Check-In. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Adam Gold talks with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs, or visit carolinaalehouse.com/Canes.
First Horizon Stadium in Cary is the place to be galactic. The North Carolina Courage, the Triangle's premier professional women's soccer team, invites you to Star Wars Night, May 17th at 5 p.m. Grab Star Wars Night tickets at tickets.nccourage.com. May the courage be with you.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's WERKS.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Svechnikov, he'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov! He beats Thompson, and Carolina, with 1:59 to go, takes a 2-1 lead.
A sharp angle? Yeah, I'd agree with that, Mike Maniscalco, voice of the Canes.
Same spot on the ice where Justin Williams sent the puck to the front of the net in Game 7 back in 2019.
I saw, shout out to a Twitter user named Mike. Immediately had those two screenshots. I mean, quick.
Oh, yeah, Mike Foreman.
Is that who it was?
Yeah. Used to work for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, that's exactly who it is. Quick. I mean, just the recall was like, I know exactly the timestamp to go. He might have even had the screenshot already in his phone, or at least the video. Here's my favorite part about that win. It was watching Caps fans, because I'm a friend, family up there, friends up there, slowly come to grips with what was happening to their team. Early on in the series, they thought it was them. They thought it was the Caps not playing well. I don't know what's gotten into the Caps. They were scoring so much in the first round. I don't know. Hey, what's going on with Ovechkin? He's normally scoring more than this. What's going on? And then slowly, as the series went along, it started being like, this Carolina defense is pretty suffocating. Hey, this Carolina defense, it's like facing a full court press the entire game. This Carolina defense, they just can't get a shot off. By yesterday, it was legit. When we're on the power play, it feels even strength. It was watching them recognize that it wasn't the Caps just waking up on the wrong side of the bed every game. It was being forced by the opponent was a real joy. Because I knew what it was, right? Because I've seen it happen when the Canes are on their game, when their blue line is on their game. I've seen really good goal scoring teams, really good goal scorers, just not be that, right? Just not get into a rhythm. So I knew what was happening, but they hadn't yet. They didn't know. By the end of Game 5, they got it. By the end of Game 5, they got it, and that's why I really like what Spencer Carberry, the coach of the Capitals, said after the game, which is their struggles were due to Carolina. Here's Carberry.
All the things that we're going to talk about of shortcomings that we had. So whether that be special teams, 5-on-5, scoring, depth scoring, we can break it all down. The first part you have to look at is not the lack of that from the Washington Capitals, is how the Carolina Hurricanes did that to the Washington Capitals. That's where my head goes. So guys that didn't produce or didn't do this or XYZ, penalty kill, go down the list, they did a real good job. And the games were tight. And, you get a bounce one way, flip one of those games. Maybe it's a little bit different. But they, over the length of the 5 games of this series, they showed the quality of team that they are.
It's quite literally, and I've used this example a few times trying to describe this. I was trying to think of like the best pitching rotations in baseball history. Like if it's like the late '90s Braves, and you look at your batting average, you play for the Marlins, and you're like, I'm a .310 hitter, but for some reason I don't know what's happening to me against the Braves. I bat 190. Well, it's probably a Maddox, Glavine, Schmaltz thing, right? It's probably the other team is doing something. That's what it was for the Caps. I don't think all of these players on the Caps that had career years scoring the puck suddenly forgot how to do it. No. I think the Canes did that to them. It's probably a Jacob Slavin thing, right? All those just excellent stick work deflections from Slavin against some other team might have been a goal or a rebound that becomes a goal, or something that is not as obvious as he deflects it away, they get the puck and go in the other direction. I mean, think about it like this, and we'll talk about Nikishin later on, but Jalen Chatfield gets hurt. Jalen Chatfield is a really, really good blue liner. I've advocated for his praise for a long time. They bring in Nikishin. Now, Nikishin has his issues, but physically gifted, and in a one-on-one situation pokes it away from Ovechkin, which leads to a bunch of looks for the Canes the other way. He's the 7th defenseman on the team. I think you got to give credit to the Canes blue line. And then you got to give credit to the goal scorers for the Canes for doing enough, right? Doing enough, scoring enough, making it so all of that great defensive play and defensive energy wasn't wasted. And that's a lot of where Andrei Svechnikov comes in.
I was going to say, the Canes are actually third in the NHL in the postseason in goals per game. Third out of everyone playing in the playoffs, third in goals per game.
Credit to Svech, but credit to the we're not going to list them because we don't have time. All of the goal scorers for the Canes this postseason. But I do think it starts with Svech, and I think it starts with Svech's aggressiveness. Here's Rod Brindamore on Svech's performance in the postseason.
We say it all the time. I think all year we've been kind of waiting for that Andre, and still is, we got through the regular season, but it was like, you watch it every night. It's, tonight that goal is not even a great goal, but he had a lot of other ones off the bars and posts, and so I think that one he deserved it just from his play all series. And any team that's playing now, you got to have your top guys going, or you're not still here.
You got to have your top guys going, or you're not still here. Dennis, we have a treat that represents one of the top guys. During that sound clip there, shout out to Paul Ihander and Bree, our of our promotions department. Little Two Roosters.
Yeah, a little Slavin Sunday.
Why? Because Slavin had we were just talking about Slavin. That was completely unplanned. I didn't even know the treat was on our way, but we got a little Slavin Sunday from Two Roosters ice cream. Why? Because the Canes are going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and because one of their top guys, Jacob Slavin, had a top guys performance.
Tastes so good. Winning.
What does it taste like? Salty. What does it taste like? Winning. What was it? 9 blocks for Slavin?
Yeah, 9.
I think he earned a little bit of a treat for us.
Yeah, for us, right?
Svech, second leading scorer in the postseason. I think he earned a little bit of a treat for us. No, they celebrate, get ready, and watch, right? Because like we said, Toronto and Florida, that series isn't over yet.
Oh, is this brownie? Let's go.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. I haven't been able to eat it because I've been talking, but that's probably a good time for us to take a little bit of a breather. But coming on back, we have a recent siren sounder for the Canes and brand new head coach of the NC State Wolfpack men's basketball team, Will Wade, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline when we come back. I'm going to take this time to dive into my Slavin Sunday. Back after this with Will Wade.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum, and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Jeff Hoffman from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. So I'm looking at the website here, and it says gutter helmet. People go, gutter helmet?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Gutter helmet's a great product, and this is a time of the year where a lot of people aren't thinking about it because they think of gutter helmet during the fall, not the spring, but you got so much falling out of the trees here with the pollen coming up. So, yeah, it's a good time. Let us come out, inspect your gutters, inspect your fascia board, do some flashing, repitch, take care of everything, and then install the gutter helmet.
And you'll never have to get on a ladder again, right?
Never have to get on the ladder again.
What about getting in the bucket of a tractor? No, don't even ask me.
Been there, done that myself.
Don't even ask me. So gutter helmets and everything else you guys do. Warranty?
Yep. One-stop shop. We're going to take care of all your rotten wood, and we're going to stand behind it with a lifetime warranty and a lifetime service warranty, no clog.
Lifetime warranty. 1-800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
Tim Donnelly here, and I want to tell you about the coolest place in town. The Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry in their Village District location in Raleigh. Not only do they have the coolest selection of timepieces, we're talking pre-owned and vintage Rolexes, Hamilton, Norcane, and so much more, but they're also a vibe. Vinyl records playing, grab yourself a drink, and enjoy some great company. It's the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. Luxury watches, men's jewelry, and unique gifts. Visit BaileyBox.com for more and cool out.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
My boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Yes.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Creighton Blackwell here once again from Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. Today, we are at East Chapel Hill High School, and we're here to celebrate our newest Scholar Athlete of the Month, Isabel Woke.
I've been volunteering a lot with teaching kids how to swim, and I just really love getting back to this sport that has given me so much. And it's really just inspires me and motivates me to see other people getting in the water and really learning to enjoy it.
I think Isabel has an automatic natural ability to be a leader, and it's really actually impressive. And I think it's great because she has a lot of experience, and she's very humble and has a great personality and a great person to be around.
She is articulate, she is smart, she is empathetic, she is everything that you would hope most teenagers are.
So every once in a while you get lucky enough to meet a student who just operates on a different plane than the rest of us. And those students are the ones that make you wonder, what are they going to do later on in life? And she's one of those.
I'm so thankful for my coaches and my teammates and my parents who have just made this possible.
Congratulations, Isabel.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are excited to have joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Will Wade. Brand new head coach, NC State men's basketball, making his way through his first offseason with the Wolfpack. And he does join us, as I said, on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Coach, thank you for taking the time. I know that you sounded the siren. Are you a full all-out Caniac yet, especially after last night's win?
It was a great win. Great win last night. Good to win the series, and waiting to see who we get in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I like it. I like that you're a part of that. And the offseason is busy. I'm sure you get a hockey game in when you can, but the portal never stops. So we'll start there. I've heard you say that scoring is still something you're out there looking for, right? You like the length, you like some of the size, some of the attributes you've been able to assemble, but maybe scoring something you're still in the market for. There's some big names you've been linked to that are still testing their name in the NBA draft, out at the Combine. How is monitoring those decisions going, and when do you expect to hear maybe on some of those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of scoring, but, I really would like to add a proven score, if possible. I think we've got some guys who can score the ball, but if we could add a little bit more of a proven commodity, I think that would, that could help us moving forward. And so we've been monitoring a lot of things. We've been monitoring some playoff series overseas, been monitoring the Combine certainly, and monitoring some potential reclass kids in high school. And so there's a lot of different avenues out there, a lot of different options out there, and we're looking at all of those and going to find the best fit for us.
It's interesting you bring up the overseas element of it. There was like the timeline at one of the shows we had. I was talking about how your portal class, maybe I would have liked to have seen a big guy, and then literally by the end of that hour of radio, we had heard about Paul Mbaya having committed, 6'11", big dude. I think technically a freshman, but he's played some years over there in the French Pro A League, and he's a bigger, older guy. How do you scout and find a guy like that because he is playing overseas, and then what does he bring to your program?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of connections with agents overseas. We get a lot of our intelligence from with overseas. You got to use the NBA teams, and so we have a lot of friends that work at NBA teams. There's a couple teams that have better international networks than other teams, and so we try to rely on those teams and their scouts and what they think. And then you rely on the agents and some of the relationships that you have, and that's what we use to identify the guys. Watch some film, run some comps based on guys who have come from that league and come to the States. There's been 4 kids in the last 5 years from Paul's league, or Paul will be the 4th. The other 3 were at Dayton, St. Joe's, and Stanford, and Paul stacks up a little bit better than each of those kids, and so we have a pretty good comfort level with where he'll fall when he gets here, and are very, very excited about him.
Will Wade, NC State men's basketball coach, connecting with us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Will, the ACC has recently really released to us that the conference schedule is going from 20 to 18 games, and one of the first things I thought of is rivalries being protected and all of that. As you schedule, right, you get these 2 extra non-conference games. Would you consider a conference team in a non-conference game if it is a team that your fans think it's important to play twice a year?
We absolutely would. It gets a little bit tricky, and there's a little bit of discussion of that at the conference meetings, but we certainly would. Especially, maybe it's not a team we would play twice a year, but with the way the ACC schedule is going to be now, there's going to be one team that you don't play, period. And if it was a traditional rival that we didn't play, period, I think a non-conference game would make a ton of sense. To play a non-conference game just to play a team twice, that's going to be hard to get the other team to agree to. For instance, if we're playing them at their place, why would they want to come play us at our place in a non-conference game? And we'd have to return it and maybe play at their place twice the following year. So, I mean, there's a lot of dynamics that would have to work. It'd be a lot easier if it was just a team that we weren't slated to play, but it's certainly something that we'd be open to.
What is kind of your non-conference philosophy as you look towards future schedules? Is it big game hunting? Are you looking for those wins to boost net? What's your theory?
Well, it's a mixture of all of that. I mean, everything we do in scheduling is based on giving us the best net possible and making sure that we give ourselves the best chance possible to make the NCAA tournament and then get a seed where we're capable of advancing in the NCAA tournament. So that's how we schedule. We'll have some big games on neutral courts, some big home games, and then some other home games that are very good games against quad 2 teams. We can pick up quad 2 wins, which is the equivalent of a conference game, but they'll be in a bye game, and then certainly some some of just the straight buy games that we need to first secure the win, but then make sure we win by a margin enough to run up our efficiencies both on offense and defense. So we'll have a good mixture of that. We're going to play as high a level competition as we can and make sure that we're as prepared as we can be for the ACC portion of our schedule.
Will Wade, NC State men's basketball coach here on The Drive. Coach, you what I really appreciate about you is kind of the openness, right? And I think that was obvious during your time at McNeese, particularly at the end when all of the discussions about next jobs and everything were happening. But now that you've taken over for State, you say we will make the NCAA tournament, right? We want to be in the, I think you said, top part of the ACC, and you expect to. A lot of new coaches don't do that, right? They hide behind getting better every day as the only goal and developing and coach speak. Why not go that route? Like, why are you comfortable openly naming your bigger goals and being so transparent?
I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, what we're going to say? We're going to suck?
No, but it's the 1-0 thing, right? It's all the cheesy stuff. I guess
that doesn't get anybody excited. But I mean, look, all that stuff. Look, we got to have a daily process to get to where we want to go. But I mean, look, our goals are what they are. I mean, nobody walks into the season. No head coach is going to walk into their main team meeting like, we're not an NCAA tournament team this year, guys. Let's just roll the balls out and hopefully we can make the NIT. And if that doesn't work, maybe we'll go to the CBI. It'll be a fun year. Like, nobody's going to say that. So you might as well put it out there. I mean, that's what everybody who signs up here knows what they're signing up for. And you got to set the expectations. If you set the expectations at a certain level, people will rise to those expectations. If you set mediocre expectations, then you're going to get mediocre results. And we want to be a first-class championship program. We're going to set first-class championship expectations, and that's just the way I've always gone about it. And look, we're gonna back up our talk. We're not going to be all bark, no bite, all hat, no horse, so to speak. But we're going to back up what we have to say. But look, I don't think anything I've said that it's not like I've said that we're going to the Final Four and we're going to win the ACC this year. I mean, damn. We expect to compete at the top of the league, and we expect to go to the NCAA tournament with a chance to win a game and advance. I mean, I think that's what every high major program should be striving to do. And when I feel like we got a team that's good enough to go to the Final Four, we're going to say that too.
I was going to say, if you want to go ahead and
that's the way we go about things.
If you want to go ahead and make those guarantees, our phone lines are always open. We would love for. To help you get that message out if you want to make those types of guarantees.
Let me make sure we got the right team first. I mean what I say. So we'll let's get that part of it right first, and we can circle back on that.
All right. Well, last one before we let you go, and thank you very much for taking the time. Another thing I've noticed about kind of your tenure, however short it's been running the program, is you are connecting with fans, right? I've seen you in viral videos calling up season ticket holders to renew their tickets, right? You're at all the other sports. You're throwing out first pitches. So I thought it'd be fun, right? As soon as I knew you were coming on the show, I hit up a diehard NC State fan, multiple years, for a question. I was like, we'll wait on what's the question. And this is the fan question. And I emphasize it is a fan question, and you'll see what I mean by that. Can you give us your NC State basketball Mount Rushmore? Is what they were interested in. Like, who are you putting the four faces on the big rock?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously David Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably an obvious one. I think if we are just sticking with with the winning and the national champion and just national championships, we'd obviously have to have Norm Sloan on there.
Okay.
And Jim Valvano.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had so many other great players. Be tough. I don't want to just choose. It'd be another player on there.
Yep.
But I just don't know. I don't know which I don't know which one. I don't know which one I would choose. So we have a lot of good options. So,
Coach, that is a veteran move. You leave one open that way. Every former player thinks that is a veteran move. Nobody's feelings get hurt. So we'll let you go with that one. But thank you very much for jumping on the show and good luck. I mean, I usually say like good luck this season, but there really is no off season anymore. So good luck in the portal. Good luck with recruiting. Good luck with everything you have coming up.
sounds good. I appreciate it.
Once again, Will Wade, NC State men's basketball coach, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I like the passion from Coach. I like the passion from Coach. I like what he's bringing as far as energy to the program and the kind of big lofty goals and go chase them and believability, right? And I know right when you start saying like, hey, when I got the right team, I'll make bigger guarantees. Now let me go get the right team. I like that too. I mean, it's the most refreshing. Let me boil down all my reactions to not just that conversation with Will Wade, but the conversations we've had and conversations I've heard with others. The most refreshing part is it really does seem like at some point in his career, and you know that he has the history of what happened at LSU and everything else. You can go look it up. At some point, it feels like he just went, I'm putting everything on Front Street. Like I'm putting a spotlight on everything, and if you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. But it is what my program is going to be, and I think it's a really cool way to run things, right? Coaches that put up walls and everything. It's you got to remember who's allowed to hear what and what did you say last time. He's like, nah, let's talk, which I appreciate. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of on Front Street. I think we had to put it on Front Street. Rory McIlroy's struggling a little bit, although he's better today than yesterday. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the PGA Championship. Here's the current leaderboard presented by Wilson Country Club. All the way at the top, Johnny Vegas. All the way at the top, Johnny Vegas. 1 under for the day. 1 under for the day. 8 under for the tournament. He is in first place by himself, 2 strokes clear. Matthew Pavon is in a tie for second with Alex Smalley. Smalley and Pavon are at 6 under par, although Smalley's still on the course today. He is 2 under on the round with 9 holes to go. Both Pavon, I don't know why I have to say his name that way. He's French, so I feel like I need a baguette. Johnny Vegas and Pavon are both done for the day. Other big names, Max Homa has worked his way up into the top 5. Viral sensation, a true modern superstar because he is so social media kind of omnipresent. Almost, for golf fans out there, buckle up. This is a Happy Gilmore stat. Homa almost aced a par 4 today. Left it actually a little far and right, like a foot past the hole on a par 4.
Too strong with it.
Yeah, too strong on the par 4 off the tee. But that's how you end up tied fourth. 7 under on the round today. He is in the clubhouse. 9 strokes better today than yesterday for Max Homa. Those studs, they can get going on fire and really make up a lot of ground. So he is in a tie for fourth at 5 under par with Ryu Hisatsune, as well as Matt Fitzpatrick and Ryan Gerard. So Ryan Gerard played, he's even through 3 today. He is the Raleigh native UNC former golfer who was at the top of the leaderboard for a large part of yesterday, really trying to live out that dream and go chase a major championship. He is in a tie for 4th right now. Still a lot of golf to play today and beyond. If you're looking for big names, Bryson DeChambeau, 3 under par, tied for 12th. Scotty Scheffler, 3 under par, 1 under on the day through 6. He's in a tie for 12th. And as we mentioned, Rory McIlroy, 1 under on the day through 6 holes, but he is still outside the cut line looking in a tie for 75th. Justin Thomas, done for the day. He is 3 over par, outside the cut line looking in, probably looking at a weekend free. PGA Championship updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club. Experience the rich history of this must-play course. The Canes it's really awesome to have the weekend off because that means you finished your series and you get to rest. Less fun for the golfers if they have the weekend off. That means they make the cut. With the Canes win, however, the Game 5 win for the Canes, they punched their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, earned themselves an off weekend. For more details on Game 5, here's our very own Adam Gold with 2 Minutes of Gold.
I've got 2 minutes for two moments that helped decide the second round series. Carolina beating Washington 4-1. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. There were a lot of moments in this series. Sean Walker's goal to make it 4-2 in Game 4. Taylor Hall's goal to make it 3-1 in Game 4. Any number of Frederick Anderson saves. The Jacob Slavin overtime game winner in Washington in Game 1. But 2 goals turned this series into a Hurricanes 4-1 win and really sets Carolina up going forward. Let me take you back to Game 3. Washington has dominated the first 30 minutes. Carolina got a good shift, an offensive zone draw, and the top line came out on the ice.
Well, now there's 7:29 left here in the second. The Canes have been aggressive in this game. Now Svechnikov comes in off the draw, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
We have been waiting for these moments for Andrei Svechnikov's entire career. These moments, playoff moments, where Andrei takes over games. Individual effort right off the face-off. Carolina wins that game 4-0. It starts with Andrei's goal. I still can't hear from being in Lenovo Center for that one. And then last night, just under 2 minutes left, from a sharp angle, not a great goal for Logan Thompson to allow, but
now here's Jarvis. Could be a 3-on-2 for Carolina. Svechnikov. He'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov! He beats Thompson, and Carolina, with 1:59 to go, takes a 2-1 lead.
Andrei does it again. Carolina traded for Mikko Rantanen for a reason. They wanted one of those players to help them in the playoffs. Can Andrei Svechnikov be one of those? Look, there's only about 6 of them on Earth, but Andrei can be a pretty good replica of one of those. And if he continues playing the way he's playing and Aho and Jarvis start scoring, we might have a month's worth of hockey left. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. And because of Andrei, I'm going to get a whole weekend's worth of sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Sound off for the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm still jacked up. The Canes winning Game 5. There's this weird phenomena, and maybe it's the position. I can't believe I have to say this. Don't take Freddie Anderson for granted. And by the way, I'm not just saying this to you. I'm also saying this to me. You may be surprised. Us, like any other office, probably the day after a Canes win like that around the triangle, we gather around and we chat about the game too. Right, and Paul Ihender will come off air in the morning, and he'll stop by our cubicles, and we'll chat, and sales guys will come through, sales ladies will come through, and just see the game, and we do all of that. And we probably had Dennis and I and a rotating cast, Paul and a rotating cast of people stopping by, talked for like an hour about last night's game. And it was Svech, and it was Aho, and it was Slavin, and it was Nikishin, and we talked just about all these players that install scoring the first, and Martinook taking Tom Wilson and putting him on his back a whole bunch of times this series, and we talked about all of this, and about an hour in, I went, this is kind of ridiculous. We've been talking about that win. We've been talking about this series win for an hour. And I'm not sure we brought up Freddie's name. And it's not because we were like, oh, Freddie's great. Let's talk about everything else. It was just it didn't come up. It's maybe it's like an offensive line thing. It's like if I don't mention your name, that means you're doing your job the best. Because if you listened in to Adam's 2 minutes of gold right there, right, talking about Svech's goal, maybe not the best one for Thompson to allow, right? That's usually when we mention goalies. So so-and-so let up 3 softies. Like, that's when goalies get mentioned, right? Offensive linemen get mentioned when they give up a bunch of sacks, not when, the quarterback just has good time to throw and gets rid of it. Talk about Freddie. Give him his praise. Right? One last time for the second round, give him his praise and get ready to do the same in the Eastern Conference Finals if he continues to play like he is. It was a heck of an effort from the guy in net throughout the series and throughout the postseason thus far in the games he's been in. Rod Brindamore, after the game, talked about how well Freddie has been, not just in Game 5 against the Caps, but in this postseason.
He's hard on himself, but
is he hard on himself? He should be.
It doesn't get understated because we always talk about goaltending. It's just so important, and I think this is the best he's played since he's been here for it because of that. What you just said is that all of a sudden we have that breakdown and there's a save, and he bails us out, and that's what great goaltending does for a team, and obviously we hope that continues.
Shout out to Kane Stats on Twitter. Here's a fact for you. Freddie Anderson's 1.36 goals against average is the lowest recorded through a player's first 9 starts in a postseason. Obviously, 9 because he didn't play one. Through a player's first 9 starts in a postseason since Ilya Bryzgalov recorded a 1.00 in 2006 for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. That's how well Freddie's been playing and how well the blue line in front of him has been playing. We keep talking about how it seems like he's facing more shots than he is, but he really isn't getting the volume of chances a bunch, right? They're not testing him too much, although the tests are significant and he's making high leverage saves. You could argue if there's one thing different from last year's run to this year's run. First of all, you can name like 9 players, right? There's no Shea, there's no Gensel, we can go on, there's no Jury, there's no Natchez, and they're replaced by this guy and that guy and the other guy. But as far as play, Freddie is the most individual improvement. I just think he's been lights out, and it makes everything seem better. Right? The turnovers at center ice that if they lead to goals become the ones that you can't close your eyes at night without seeing, right? The replay is going to go. They become, dodge that one. Here's the perfect example, okay? Because I make these comparisons often, right? Quarterback, pitcher, goalie, right? They're kind of the onesies in those sports. And goalie for other, like soccer goalie as well, right? They're on an island almost from everybody else because of the nature of their positions. I played quarterback. I can, to this day, and I don't want, it's becoming further and further into the rearview mirror. It's like 14 years ago was the last time I played a football game in college. I can, to this day, see every interception. What happened? What did I miss? What did it feel like when the ball left my hand? What did it feel like when the ball left my hand and then the guy who I didn't know was there stepped into my vision and, oh, no. I can do all of that. You know what I can't do? I can't walk you through the interception-worthy throws where the defensive back dropped it. Right? Same throw, same decision, same everything. But guess what? They dropped it, so my brain immediately went, moved on to the next play, right? All right, let's get on the ball. Let's go. Same thing for defensive players, or like Nikishin, right? Nikishin turned it over, it got taken away. They score, gets taken away from offsides on the review. He's like, next one. Rather than seeing that for the rest of his life, it's gone. Same thing, right? You turn it over. Freddie makes a great save, right? You give him a high five at the next stoppage and play, and that's moved on from. He makes it easier. He makes it better. He makes you feel like you played better in front of him if he's playing like he's playing. So don't take that for granted. Give him his praise every chance you can think of it, especially when he plays like he's played the first 9 games of his playoffs, 10 games of the team's. Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have football at 4 coming up, and as we've done a few times throughout this postseason, we're going to ask this question in a different way. What can the Panthers learn from the Canes to go ahead and get themselves to a conference championship or beyond? Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
I am not a watcher of Entertainment Tonight or Bravo Network. I don't care about these things. I don't care about the relationship between Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson unless it impacts football. Nobody has made the connection for me that this will impact football. But I will say this, the university can't separate itself from the relationship because Belichick is UNC football.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends May 16th. Proud partner of the Carolina Hurricanes.
See Home Club for details.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app with over 16 million subscriptions sold? Well, we thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. She's an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face, listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent?
Precio.
Keith's a real people person and a curious learner. So he loves Babbel's Culture Bites, full of insights and native knowledge about the language he's learning. Like what's served for Christmas dinner in Germany?
Glühwein, Weihnachtsgans und Christmasstollen.
Wherever you are, however you learn, Babbel is the best choice to break any language barrier. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The golf season is here. Time to upgrade your game. Head to Global Golf and explore Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf clubs. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned player, our expert staff will get you fit. Are you ready to trade in your current clubs? Global Golf makes it easy to trade in your previously played equipment and upgrade to your next set of clubs. Visit Global Golf today, located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Woo, it feels like summer out there this afternoon. Highs in the mid-90s, but feeling like upper 90s with the heat index. We also have a chance of severe storms. A level 1 risk from the Triangle area northward. Some hail, some wind damage are possible. Overnight, we drop down to 73, so that's a really warm night. And then 93 tomorrow, again, with a high heat index. It'll feel steamy out there, and we'll have a chance of a few isolated storms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell, up 332 points to 42,654. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for Football at 4. But before we do that, I want to let everybody know something. I had my fun. Dennis we had our fun. The first hour was all about just us talking positive and fun and Eastern Conference Finals and Canes win. Will Wade stopped by and Canes win. I want y'all to enjoy this as well. So in about 20 minutes, we're going to open up the phone lines. And any of you that have observations, takes, whatever you want to say, talk trash, you want to rub some receipts in someone's face, I don't know. Well, not that. Pretty much anything except for the language that can't be said on radio. We're going to open up the phone lines in about 20 minutes for your reactions to the Canes going to the Eastern Conference Finals. If you want to, I don't know, call out Toronto or call out Florida, you'd rather see them, we could play it that way. You want to highlight a player for the Canes. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. You want to give flowers to somebody, you want to give some praise, you can do that as well. So about 20 minutes, we'll open up the phone line and pretty much let that rock as long as you want to, right? If y'all keep coming with the opinions, we'll keep bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. It's the Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. But right now, Football at 4. What can the Panthers learn from the Canes? We've asked this in a bunch of different ways. The way we're going to ask it today is this. The Canes blue line, the Canes defense, right there, they're 6-7 guys that they depend on to lock up the opposing team. They're really gosh darn good. They're really gosh darn good. But not just that. They're really gosh darn consistent, right? They're dependable. They're there every single night with effort, with leaving it all on the ice, with talent and skill, with so much. And just having that, right? And this isn't to downgrade the forwards. It's not to downgrade the goalie. It's not to, we're not ranking here. But just to have that one thing in a team sport that you go into every game going, I mean, way more often than not, that's going to be there. That's going to be something we can lean on. It is a luxury. It is a quite frankly, a massive advantage. So we started thinking, like, if that's what it is for the Canes, and you could boil it down to names, you could boil it down to system, right? You could say, like, Jacob Slavin, and that starts it. Or you can say it's Rod Brindamore's system and the way they coach. Or you could even say the blue liners get to be so consistent because they're getting help from the forwards coming back and playing two-way hockey. You could say whatever you want, but the fact that it is there night in and night out is a massive advantage. What is that for the Panthers? What is the thing going into a game where you can go, all right, I need to check to see if the corners are ready. I need to check to see if the receivers are ready. I don't have to check on them. They're good. Who is that? I know who it should be. I know who I think most of you are answering this question with. Offensive line. That's what the money is there. They've been rebuilt recently. There's first-round picks. There's I think a lot of talent there. There's obviously size there. Right when last offseason you spent $153 million over 4 years and 5 years on two separate contracts for Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis to play guard. When you have Taylor Moton, who's been solid for a very long time, you have a sixth overall pick in Ike Ekwonu on the other side playing left tackle. You had options at center, and you chose to bring back it's Corbett, right? Chose to bring back Corbett. Should be your offensive line. I don't think the pass blocking is there yet. I think if you wanted to really narrow it down and say the thing I know is going to be there is offensive line run blocking, I might be able to get on board. I don't think their pass blocking is there yet. There were enough times last year where Bryce was dropping back and my internal alarm clock was going, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. That I'm not there as far as like, hey, we can lean on them. And that, I mean, maybe it's trick. Actually, Dennis, do you have an answer to this? Or were you thinking offensive line? I think that's probably the
I was probably going to say if there's one group that you want to know that you can trust in on a game in and game out basis that's going to get the job done, For this Panthers team, the way they're built right now, you hope it's the offensive line, especially with the continuity that they have with all the guys that they have coming back.
And I think that's why I'm treating this like a trick question. I don't think they have anything on that level of trust. The answer is, if we're going old school Scantron multiple choice, throw it down there on E, none of the above. I don't think there is. And by the way, that's not to say there will never be. That's not to say I don't think there's the potential to be. But that has to be earned. That is a huge level of respect to say, I am confident that you will play to an elite or at least very above average level every game as a position. Right? If in Panthers history, we're talking like linebackers when it was Kuechly Davis. That's the Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly. That is Slavin, Chatfield, like that is that, right? I don't think the Panthers have that right now. And that's the goal, right? The first step to solving a problem is identifying you have a problem. There is nothing on the Panthers that I trust like I trust the Canes blue line. There's not the depth. And by the way, there are players that I do, right? I trust like if I had some kind of an emergency I had to get out of town, I'd have Adam Thielen babysit my kids. Like Adam Thielen seems like as steady when healthy as a NFL player can be. He's a really good golfer, which, he can stick to a goal and overcome adversity. Like, I really like Adam Thielen. I don't look at the wide receiver room and go, yeah, you guys are going to show up every game. I think J.C. Horn is one of the most talented, again, when healthy, corners in the league. I don't look at the secondary by a long stretch and go, I'm confident you guys are going to lock up the opposing team's passing options. I would be closer, if we could say interior offensive line. If we went, into the subsections, the guards, maybe. Not offensive line, though. Not until Ike Ekwonu, your blindside protector, can be more trusted in pass blocking. But if you told me like Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis are healthy, and then maybe I would say, okay, guards. But that's the only one that's getting close. And that's not an insult. Spencer Carberry, the head coach of the Caps, spoke after the game about Jacob Slavin specifically, one of the leaders, the leader of the Canes blue line. And this is what he had to say about Slavin.
And another shout out just quickly, because he doesn't get enough credit. I think he started to get credit since the Four Nations. Jacob Slavin is how he's not in the Norris Trophy conversation every single year. It doesn't seem right. Obviously, the guys that are there are tremendous players in their own right, but he's one heck of a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, no lies detected there.
Been saying it for a long time. Do you know how good you have to be for the opposing team's coach to, like, unprompted go, I just want to give a shout out? like it's somebody that's not on radio often. Like, hey.
By the way, this guy.
Like, hey, you won the numbers game. Congratulations. Yeah. By the way, while I'm on air, can I just give a shout out? Like that was the opposing team's coach. Just give an awards campaign stump speech for somebody on the other team real quick. There's nobody on the Panthers who opposing teams' coaches are going like, hey, before I leave the podium, can I just argue for this guy on the Panthers to win an award? It's not happening. So it's not an insult that I don't think there's that on the Panthers. It's just that I don't think there's that on the Panthers. Dennis, you have something you would like to tell people? You're waving at me, so go ahead and take the microphone.
That's right. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. We talk about reliability. There's always someone that you can rely upon if you call Law Tigers. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call if you're injured in a motorcycle accident. Why does reliability matter? Well, it's nice knowing that if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, the people that you can contact, the people that you can call are part of that motorcycle riding community as well. These are lawyers and representatives that understand what your bike is worth, what your gear is worth, what you are going through after an accident. They're reliable people that you can trust if, again, you are injured in a motorcycle accident. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company. Because guess what? Insurance companies, Look, they're all about the money. They want to give you the least amount possible, whereas Law Tigers, they're actually there for you. That's why your case evaluation with them is always free, and they don't get a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW Tigers or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will open up the phone lines for you and get a cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A record in sports that would be a big deal if it was broken and we'd all be in on it is 100 points in a game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, big time.
If I told you within the next 20 years in the NBA, somebody would score 101 points in one game.
I could see it. Couldn't you see a team just waving the white flag and another team taking advantage of that?
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Are you ready for a global summer showdown? Thursday, June 19th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Football legends collide at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Inter Miami and FC Porto. Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba taking on Diogo Costa and Rodrigo Mora. Don't miss your chance to be part of history. Grab your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun-fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
FX presents Welcome to Wrexham.
For the last 4 years, it's been this roller coaster of magic.
The Emmy Award-winning series returns. Come on, Wrexham! With an all-new season.
We're going into a really tough division.
Birmingham are absolute favourites with the arrival of Tom Brady.
It's a friendly competition. Oh! Well, not so friendly.
Imagine the opportunity to beat Tom Brady at sports.
FX's Welcome to Wrexham. All new Thursdays at 9 on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Stahl gets a chance, and he scores! There's a huge goal for the captain as he consumes his first in the series, and the Canes have a 1-0 lead.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So this is how it's going to go. We are going to open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline for your reactions to the Canes winning the second round series against the Caps. I want to know who you think starred that isn't getting enough love. I want to know if you'd rather face Toronto or Florida in the Eastern Conference Finals. I want to know what you think is special about this team compared to maybe last year's or the year before. I want to know what you think got them here. We know what's happened. I want to hear what you think about it. So the Heister Automotive Group hotline will open right now, 919-860-5326. We're going to play for you a cup check-in with Adam Gold presented by Carolina Ale House with Sara Civian of Bleacher Report. That's who Adam checked in with. But while that's playing, you can go ahead and kind of line up and get ready if you have a thought. We want to hear it. Again, the number to call in, 919-860-5326. Canes are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's have some conversations about it, shall we? 919-860-5326. Here's the cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House with Sara Civian.
How did you stay awake for another boring Hurricanes game?
I know, right? Nothing ever happens. I just feel like if this was the Toronto Maple Leafs, people would not be saying that. People would say, wow, that's so impressive. They have shut out the Panthers the way they have. And you know what? The Panthers kind of play that shutdown game. No one's calling them boring. So I am confused. Also, I think maybe like a few people said this on social media, and perhaps, here's my conspiracy theory, maybe not everybody's watching these games because they're watching maybe some of the Canadian games. So they're like, oh, here's the narrative. You look at the score at the end. Maybe it is boring. But you know what? These are the type of games a hockey fan would like.
It's playoff hockey. It's supposed to be lower scoring. Edmonton won their series with Vegas by scoring 16 goals. The Hurricanes scored 15. Dallas, super exciting, has 11 goals in 5 games. I am curious. I don't think the Stars are boring, but I guess people must be falling asleep watching them. Sara, you were here at the beginning of this run, and I think because you alluded to it in your piece, is that they have now, in year 7, because not everybody is still here, but there is a core 4 or core 5 that they have in some ways perfected the style in which they play.
Yeah, I mean, it's the conditioned team in the league. We know that, and it's credit to Rod Brind'Amour, of course, because you have to play like that when you get here, right? And then it's kind of why some people struggle initially in the system, because it is a bit different than other systems in the league, and they know they have to be, because it's not always the biggest star in the league, although you can argue maybe there are some now, but it's just kind of the product of the system, and just you have to play hard.
Not every player wants to commit to playing that hard on the defensive side of the puck. And maybe that was the misread that Eric Tulsky made, that he could convince Mikko Rantanen to play that way defensively.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things it's why a lot of the free agents had success there, right? Because they're acting to do that. And I love the quote from Taylor Hall. I know he wasn't a free agent, but he signed an extension. Yeah. And he said, it's because of this, right? It's because you have to be on board with what Rod does, and he has bought in. It's like people will buy in, people won't. It's not for everyone, and sometimes it's not for the high-end stars, because that can stifle their game a little bit, right? And it's just what works for Carolina. Kind of see Rantanen's side in that. And also, I felt like that was just a product of a guy who wanted more agency, right? He had not been in free agency, and now you go in and it's like the salary cap is rising more than it ever has. Right. It has since at least the last lockout. He wants to have his say in that somewhat. So I can imagine being in his shoes, being one of the best players in the league, and saying, you know what, I'm not okay with how this is going down, no matter where he was.
Once again, that was the Cup Check-In with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House. Go to Carolina Ale House in Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. Another series, which means there will be more away games. So Carolina Ale House in Cary for away game watch parties. Shout out to Sara Civian for being the person who Adam checked in with today during the Cup Check-In. We opened up the phone lines, and we have callers in line. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. I want your reactions to the Canes punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll start with Jonah in Morrisville. Jonah, thank you very much for calling in. go ahead and give us your take or the player you want to highlight, whatever you want for the Canes.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm absolutely electric that we made it again to the Eastern Conference Final. I think there's two big things that have played a factor in our success this year. I think number one being Freddie staying healthy and kind of proving himself, even if it's just to himself, that he can do this and he will do this. And number two being our absolutely insane penalty kill this year.
You know what? That is a great point, Jonah, and thank you very much for calling in. We'll build off of that. We haven't said enough about special teams. There's so many fun things to talk about, but the penalty kill absolutely deserves a lot of praise. Like I said, the Caps fans that I'm friends with said when we're on the power play, so this is Caps fan talking, so when Washington was on the power play, they felt like it was even strength. I mean, the Canes are making another person feel like they're there. That's how good their penalty kill is.
They've killed 28 of 30. And one
really
of the two was a 5-on-3.
And it was Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I mean, Ovechkin didn't have the best series, but you give him two-man advantage. He's still Ovechkin.
Let's not discount their power play, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Of the teams still remaining, they have the second-best power play percentage of all the teams still left.
I mean, right, like we didn't say enough about special teams. And by the way, shout out to mix the two from Jonah. Freddie's a big part of that as well. Freddie is a big part of that penalty kill, and he's having a heck of a run. I'm going to go with this, and we have more callers to get to, so I don't want to go too long. As far as like Freddie staying healthy, remember Freddie did miss a game and a half, and also ending these series early is huge, right? If Freddie, we've seen him. Right, when he gets the rotation, when he gets a couple days off, during the regular season when it's Freddie Piotr, that's when we've seen like best versions of Freddie. Getting in and out of series as quickly as you can just, gives him, I believe, the best chance of getting into that rhythm. And, if he needs to unplug for a day or whatever it is, right, that he's getting those opportunities. So, finishing both of them off in 5 games is important. Travis in Southport, you are up next on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Welcome to the show. Sound off on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hi. I won't take too long because I'm at work and I got to get back. But
it's the day after they punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. You send your boss my way.
I just want to say that to any of Toronto or Florida, this team is not gonna lay down. Like. When I'm so happy, and no matter what happens in the next round, I'm just happy about how these guys play with such heart, and they have not let their foot off the gas. Yeah. And it's just teams I seen online that Florida, they're already we're gonna sweep. This is not the same team, and as long as they're playing their game, no matter what happens, we got this.
All right, Travis, I love it, and thank you for calling in during your workday. There's one play I want to highlight from Game 5, and it's a combo play. And I think it shows kind of what Travis is getting at with this team's not going to lay down. First of all, it was Nikishin and making his first ever appearance in the NHL, one-on-one with Ovechkin, and he wins, like straight up. Pickpocket, right? Wins. And then the puck is sailing down ice, and Ovechkin has, what are we going to call it? Like a 3 to 5 yard lead on Stankoven?
Yeah, about 4 steps. Three steps.
Stankoven just completely flat out hustles to the puck. Gets there first, to the point where Ovechkin looked over his shoulder and saw Stankoven coming and just there was no juice, and Stankoven had all the juice. That's 2 rookies, right? Nikishin is forced into action by an injury to a veteran, and he's out there doing the absolute best he can, makes a play. Then there's a rookie who, instead of going, all right, I'm 4 steps behind, let me just skate, let me be in position for when he said, I'm going to go get it, and if he's not going to out-hustle me, I'm going to beat him to the puck. It led to 2 or 3 good chances by the Canes,
including a hammer of a shot by Nikishin.
Was that the 93-mile-an-hour?
Yeah, that was the same shift.
See, it was just those 2 guys. They're brand new. I mean, for lack of a better term, they're brand new to Canes culture, but that's an exceptional Canes culture play of out-hustling, outworking, not going away. They fit. They fit. I keep saying it. Taylor Hall, he fits. Stankoven, he fits. Jankowski, he fits. Through one game at least, it looked like Nikishin fit, and hopefully that continues. David in Raleigh up next. By the way, Heister Automotive Group hotline open for your reactions to the Canes winning their second-round series of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Caps. The number to call is 919-860-5326. David in Raleigh, you are up next. The floor is yours.
Hey, Tim. Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to I have all of these points running through my head, but I'll just name a few here. But we could have easily been down 3-1 in that first period if that goal review had gone through and I guess for both sides, the hitting of the pipe, had gone through. But we managed to get through that. Another point I wanted to make is you obviously have Svetch and Freddie playing at high levels, which we haven't seen before in the postseason prior to this year. So I think it's huge having them come out with the way they're playing right now. Thirdly, I'm a little fearful of Bob in the next round, as I'm sure other Caniacs are. I hopefully we can get him moving and put a few past him. Those are just a few of the things right now. And obviously, Nikishin playing in his first game in a desperation Caps game was huge.
All right. I like the well-organized thoughts. Thank you very much for calling in. Call back in anytime. Few things I will push back just a hint on. You're 100% right. They could have been down 3-1, right? But I mean, it's not like that was a close review. Like the guy was offsides. But I'll add this. I always get nervous, and this goes for every sport. If you only do that in one direction, right? If you only they could have scored on this one, and they could have scored on this one, they could have scored on this one. We could have been down 4-1 without looking at, like you brought up. Jarvis went crossbar post, like without bringing up it could have been 3-1 the other way too if two or three things break the opposite direction.
If Logan Thompson doesn't get the heel of his stick on an open net by Stankoven at the end of the first period, like we haven't brought that play up yet.
Which was, first of all, unbelievable play by Thompson, and that's one that if they don't win the game, Stankoven is replaying in his brain forever and ever. But you're right, like if that one goes the other way, Canes have a lead early, and who knows, right? It's really hard to play the what-if game without going back down every possession and like flipping them all, right? You kind of have to play that game. And also, Freddie's health has been a thing. He hasn't been bad in the postseason when he's been out there healthy and playing. Svetch similarly, like they haven't been as on fire as they are right now. But it's not like they're they turn into pumpkins every time they hit the postseason. Playoff Svetch is a thing, definitely a thing this year, but it's been a thing in the past as well. Let's go back to the call-in line. Are we on David in Raleigh? Nope. Are we on? Oh, we have Micah. I'm looking forward to this. Micah in Morrisville, probably our most consistent Canes caller. Micah, thank you very much for calling in. You know what to do.
Thanks for having me on. I just want to give some love to Sean Walker. Like this dude, I know you guys have mentioned him a little bit.
Dennis just put his arms above his head like he just won. He's right there with you.
Yeah, like he has been like, honestly, like I'm not gonna say the MVP because Svetch has been unreal and Freddie too, but like this dude is everywhere. Like in the offensive zone, on the defensive zone, covering for ghosts, covering for like anybody. He can play on the penalty kill. He can literally do anything. And it is crazy to see. I think Dennis mentioned that he was undrafted, and I don't know. This dude is wild, and he was the
second most producing freshman at Bowling Green when he got there.
Yeah,
when other guys are getting drafted.
That's wild. But yeah, he's going to be Slavin's partner next season, I think, and that's going to be a crazy pairing to watch. But then lastly, like the team just feels like different. Like I would say on paper, everybody would probably say on paper the team last season, remember he lost with Gensel and all those guys, like, was better. But this team feels different. Like, they're like, quiet. Like, when Tom Wilson was doing all the shenanigans, like, between the benches, they were just, like, looking at him and smiling, did nothing. they have like a quiet swagger. Burns doesn't want to cup. That's probably something. I don't think Taylor Hall's want to cup. Like, they're just quiet and they're ready to win, and it's going to happen now, I feel like. So, yeah, that's all. And timely saves, timely goals. We didn't get that in the past, and this is what's happening. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Thank you very much, Micah. As always, you're welcome anytime. I want to go back to what he was saying about Sean Walker, because this is literally a conversation that Dennis and I just had off air during the most recent commercial break. Or actually, it was during the Cup check-in. There is, actually the question, where did you post it? Was it on social media, the MVP question?
Yes, I posted on our YouTube live chat, who's been the MVP so far of the postseason for the Canes.
Perfect. I think there's two obvious answers, Svech and Freddie, right? But, if we were like the Oscars, there's also the happy to be nominated. Like, you're not going to win the trophy, but it's still cool to get to go and, put on your tuxedo and get the nice watch and go walk the red carpet. It's an honor to be nominated. To me, if we were giving an Oscar for MVP of the postseason, 5 nominees, 1 winner, the competition is between Freddie and Svech, right? Svech is, second most goals scored in the entire postseason, and he's done it in less games than the person ahead of him. Freddie has been unreal. So those are the two that are vying for the win. Then there's the animated movie that's nominated for Best Picture. It's you're not going to win, but it's you're one of the few animated pictures to ever be nominated for Best Picture. That's, I would say, Walker's there. I would say Martinook's there. And I would say Slavin's there. And Slavin's like Meryl Streep or something. Just not in he's been nominated every year since 1974, right? He's there all the time. And then Martinook and Walker are hey, heck yeah, you deserve to be there. The stuff you do probably isn't going to put you in the MVP conversation, but it's wildly important, right? And Walker, I think, is playing above his level a bit. Martinook, he was hunting Tom Wilson. You could tell I don't know if it was I don't even remember what game it was when he put Tom Wilson on his back and then they scored 30 seconds later. That
was in Game 3.
Game 3. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that happened, and Martinook was I like the way that felt, because he was hunting and little things, stopping pucks, blocking them, and just taking the brunt of the pain and saying this is going to hurt, but I'm going to step in front of this one. Martinook, Walker, Slavin, and then the two actual competitors for MVP, Svech and Freddie. That's how I would look at that question. Back to the phone lines we go. Mark in Morrisville is up next. Heaster Automotive Group hotline open for your Canes talk, 919-860-5326, as we try to all community-wise enjoy a Canes trip to the Eastern Conference Final. Mark in Morrisville, you are up next. We'd love to hear your take.
First of all, I want to say that I'm a new fan, and I'm really enjoying the game, and I'm learning the game. Thank you guys, the local radio, and the local cast as the team is playing. And I just want to say that it's funny because I was at work, and 6 guys before the playoffs start wanted to send Svechnikov back to Russia. And I wanted to know, kind of as a new fan still learning the game, what would you compare his 8 goals? What would be comparable in just an off-season run, where people wanted to throw him away, and all of a sudden he's just dead hot? Thanks for the call.
All right, thank you very much for the call. And by the way, I'm so happy to hear that there are new fans being created by a run like this.
Love that.
That's a great question. What would this Svech run be like? If you're an NBA fan, and it's not identical because Svech has been a core piece of the Canes for a while. But if you're an NBA fan, I think it's a little like maybe Julius Randle this year for the Timberwolves, where Randle just kind of at one point in time was max player, everybody was excited about, and had a couple down years, couple injuries, and then all of a sudden his reputation got way below his actual level. And now if you watch Minnesota this year, and I believe Minnesota just punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals, but Anthony Edwards even said, I don't know what happened to Julius Randle when he was out with his injury this year, because when he came back, he's a different player. And I was like, oh, we got something. That was Anthony Edwards talking. So it's kind of like that, where It's a player you knew had talent, had done some things before, but for whatever reason hadn't been putting it together at the right time. I mean, even Rod Brindamore yesterday after the game said, that's the Andre we've been waiting for. Like, it wasn't just outsiders going like, hey, Andre's not doing what we hoped he'd do. They were waiting for this Andre internally. They just knew it was there, and it's a great time for him to break out of that shell. But again, I love that new fans are being made, and that's really good. Clinton in Williamston, you are up next. Clinton, we want to hear from you. What do you have to say about the Canes?
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good to hear. So pretty much I just had a couple things to say, really, but mostly for Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson and the Capitals. It was a joy every time I got to see him get hit into the wall, number one.
All right.
Number two, I'm happy to see him, fake storm surging his ass back to Washington D.C.
All right.
And on top of that, it's been great hearing about all these other players and going off, but I just wanted to highlight, Logan Stankoven, because I just think in this playoff run, in the postseason especially, I think he's been like phenomenal.
I could not agree with you more. I'm going to build off all those points because they're all kind of different jumping off points. So thank you very much for calling in. One, you're darn right it feels good to beat Tom Wilson.
Yeah, it does.
You're darn right it feels good. And the storm surge, I wanted the Canes to storm surge in their arena after winning Game 5. Like that. And by the way, for all the good and bad about Tom Wilson, I think he's a good hockey player. I think he's annoying. I think he's probably a player you love on your team, you hate on other teams. I do think he understands like the laws of the jungle of trash talk. Like, I do think he understands the Canes get to fire off a few times here, right? Like you win, so. I think he's gonna wear this one, and I think he should. Stankoven is officially, and I've said this to anyone that'll listen around the office today, he is officially part of my favorite stat. He is a rookie this year, and the moment he steps on the ice in the Eastern Conference Finals for the Canes, despite being a rookie this year, he will have played in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and he's still a rookie. That's awesome, because last year called up late, ends up playing for Dallas, played really well in the postseason, and made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. He obviously this year for the Canes after the trade, he's played really well this postseason, and he's going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I made the joke that Taylor Hall, who's in his 15th year in the NHL, is going to his first conference finals, needs to go track down Logan Stankoven somewhere and pull him to the side and go, this ain't normal for most guys. It's not I go to Dallas, I go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I get traded, or Western Conference Finals. I get traded, I still go to the Conference Finals. Oh, every year it's just Conference Finals. Like, Taylor Hall needs to be Adam Sandler and Billy Madison. Like, cherish it. Right? He needs to let him know that there might be a stretch where you go a decade and a half without going to a conference finals. Enjoy this. Don't take it for granted. I don't think Logan Stankoven is. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would take things for granted. But at the same time, if I'm Taylor Hall, I'm reminding him anyway. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have some callers on the line. I say we just keep the phone lines open so you can continue calling in, and we'll take them after the break. But before we head to break, Tim Donnelly here from Manor Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. You know, the irony is we keep talking about how electric the postseason has been, how electric you can be. Last night was pretty electric, even though they were on the road, so you're probably watching in your own house. And you wish when the power goes out, you could power it with your own electricity. Right? You wish you could just get hyped on your couch and it would work. Unfortunately, not how it works. Right? If your electricity goes out, if something breaks, if there's a breaker box situation, really for all of these, right? Plumbing, if something goes wrong, you can't just will it into existence. You can't just will it into being fixed. You need to call Manor Service Company. Manor Service Company can come out and they're the ones that can get your electricity back on, or your heating rolling, or whatever's gone wrong. They can get it going right. So go ahead and give them a call, or at least bookmark this for when you need them when one of those situations occurs. The number to call is 919-361-0033. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MaynorServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, more of your calls. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open, 919-860-5326. Canes going to the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think about it? 919-860-5326 coming up.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a hockey champion, and when I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and a $6 Bloody Mary on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, get it delivered. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app with over 16 million subscriptions sold? Well, we thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. She's an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face, listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent?
Precio.
Keith's a real people person and a curious learner. So he loves Babbel's Culture Bites, full of insights and native knowledge about the language he's learning. Like, what's served for Christmas dinner in Germany?
Glühwein, Weihnachtsgans und Christmasstollen.
Wherever you are, however you learn, Babbel is the best choice to break any language barrier. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This hour of the drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Chikrin has it knocked away by Jarvis. Now Jarvis has an empty net. Jarvis, bingo! The Canes, 26.1 seconds away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Seth Jarvis, empty net goal, 3-1 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes, they did last the last half minute there with a 2-goal lead, and they are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Before we get back to your calls, reacting to the the hometown team, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the third time in 7 years. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the PGA Championship. Here's the current leaderboard presented by Wilson Country Club. All the way at the top, Johnny Vegas. He is in the clubhouse with a 2-stroke lead over the rest of the golfers. The field, as they say. Vegas is 8 under par. Matthew Pavon, Alex Smalley, and the local guy, Ryan Gerard out of Raleigh native. He's 1 under on the day through 6 holes. He is in a tie for second at 6 under par. So for most of the day yesterday, if you were checking the leaderboard, Gerard was in first, 5 under par, finished early, was in the clubhouse just waiting for everybody else to finish up. And then he has come out and he's playing well again today through 6 holes at least, 1 under. So the local guy making a run at it. Big names near the top of the leaderboard. Max Homa is in a tie for 5th. He was 7 under on the day, 5 under on the tourney, which means he was 9 strokes better today than yesterday. Matt Fitzpatrick, former major winner, 2 under on the day through 10. He's in a tie for 5th as well with Homa at 5 under. Scotty Scheffler, 2 under on the day through 9. He is 4 under for the tourney, tied for 7th. As we continue to scroll, Bryson DeChambeau, 3 under on the tournament, 3 under on the day. He's done for the day, tied 13th. And if you're wondering where Rory McIlroy is, he has worked his way inside the projected cut line at the moment. 3 under on the day after being 3 over yesterday. He's through 9 holes today. So with 9 to go, he is in a tie for 52nd. Justin Thomas, Hideki Matsuyama, these are all guys that are all done for the day and outside the projected cut line. PGA Championship updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club. Experience the rich history of this must-play course. Back to the call-in line, Heister Automotive Group hotline for your reactions to the Canes making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll start with Pat in Durham. Pat, thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead and sound off on the Canes.
Well, couple of things. First off, what a great problem to have, figuring out who's had a better series, And but I have a couple of statements. First off, a lot of teams, you want a team to be playing their best ball or game when the playoffs come, and I feel like that the Hurricanes are there. They're playing amazingly, playing together. And I just hope that continues, and I think it will. And I think that the next team up, Florida, probably, I really think we're going to show it's like, no, we're going to be a problem. And secondly, I think the other teams have a lot of pressure, a little bit more added pressure, because the Canes are probably the hardest team to come back on. They play amazingly with a lead. And because they're just all over all the pucks, and you're pushing and you get frustrated. And I just think that it puts a lot of pressure on the other team to get a goal and get a lead, because they're just so good defensively.
Pat, I love it. Thank you very much for the call. We'll extend that conversation a bit for you and call back in anytime. About peaking, about playing your best in the postseason. I think that is – there's a lot that you kind of indirectly attribute to Rod Brindamore. I think that one is – that's knowing your guys, right? Because, the biggest debate, rest versus rust, right? They had a couple games where everything was pretty clinched up. He rested the starters. Other teams maybe didn't. He did, and I think that's him knowing his team. Like, no. Rest is more important here. We'll be able to flip the switch. We're not going to lose any rhythm or lose any edge. We'll be ready to go. He knows his team, which is crazy because last season everybody was returning, right? What was it? They had like one guy that was different from the year before. This year, whole bunch of guys different. They were shuffling up the lineup at the trade deadline multiple times, but it seemed like every button that he's pushed and every string that he's pulled down the last month of the season and into the postseason has worked, right? He's really gotten a handle on this team's identity pretty quickly. Back to the call-in line we go. Steve in Apex, Heister Automotive Group hotline. Steve, thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Doing well. Excited to hear from you.
Hey, yes, Tim, this is, I'm a Stone Caniac fan, period. And I got to give Olaf a little kudos, man, because I like the guy. He's got physicality He took a little penalty in the 3 or maybe it's 3-on-5, but I like the way he takes people off the puck. To me, that's a great add to the team because he's fast, he got good size, got a lot of strength for his size. So, I just got to give him a little props on that. Here's the other question. I'm kind of like the last caller, feedback off him.
All right,
nothing about it.
You're a little hard to hear, but I got the gist of the Orlov praise going on there. So we'll let you go, but I'll build off your Orlov point. Thank you very much for calling in. Orlov, for all of this like playoff fetch, there's a lot of guys that have stepped up from regular season to postseason. Orlov amongst them, Burns amongst them, Freddie, Svetch. I think Walker has played to another level. There is a certain, like communal aspect of them stepping up, hitting the postseason. But Orlov, the top 4 defensemen yesterday, there are stats that back this up. There's also the eye test that backs this up. Some of the people I trust in my hockey analysis will back this up. The top 4 defensemen yesterday were really good. And to have that kind of day with Chatfield out is really important. Now, obviously, the Orlov Nikishin line, if you want to, or pairing, what Nikishin had playing like 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes, something like that. That's protecting the rookie a bit. But no, the blue liners across the entire roster deserve a lot of credit for how things have been going. Back to the call-in line. We'll try to get in 2 more here before the top of the hour. Rob in Wake Forest, you are up. Go ahead and sound off on the Canes. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Tim, thanks. I just wanted to kind of follow up a little bit on what you're talking about, Rod, because I don't think we're giving Rod and Eric Tulsky as much credit at this point in time as they really deserve. If you look at the moves that they made after they lose all the talent that they lost to free agency this past year and who they brought in that fit the system so well, and then the trade deadline with their sort of ranting and what looked like was going to be a disaster that turns out where we get Hall who's a great veteran presence and fit for the team, and we get Stankoven, who's a great fit and a really young player. And then Rod with the line changes that he made when he made them, and even last night taking the time out when he did to review that call. Brilliant coaching moves, really, and I just we talk about the players, but the coach and the GM have really put their stamp on this team and deserve a lot of credit.
Rob, I don't know if I could have said that better myself. We're up against it, so I have to let you go.
All right.
To be honest, I probably should have cut you off like 40 seconds ago, but you were doing so well, I didn't want to. So we'll push it a little bit because when it comes to Tulsky, man, what I love, and he's not given enough credit for this specifically, is not being precious. If you make a move and you're like, oh man, that's a mistake, so many people in sports are just stubborn. Rather than going, all right, that's a mistake. How do I fix it? How can I make it better? How can I? They go, no, I was right. No, he brought in Mikko Rantanen. It didn't work. It was pretty obvious pretty darn early. And instead of going, no, I brought in Mikko to be our goal scorer in the postseason, and he's going to play right next to he went, all right, let's change it up. Let's get a better fit. Boom, Stankoven picks. Let's make it happen. Let's keep Hall. Can we get Jankowski for, what was it, a 5th? Like, let's stay moving until we get the right situation. And obviously they got in a pretty darn good situation. All right, last one before the top of the hour. Rodney in Raleigh wants to sound off on the Canes. Rodney, the floor is yours.
Hey, Tim, man, love the show.
Thank you.
I just want to say you're gaining some new fans and a new community. My wife and kids are Mexican-American, and I took my wife to the Rangers playoff game last year, and she loved it. Man, what was really cool is she zeroed in on one player, Svechnikov. I was actually my first Canes game was a Capitals Canes playoff game a few years ago with the famous OV fight.
Okay, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, and it was sort of famous. Spetsky was a kid, and I just thought it was really cool that his deciding goal. It just seemed like it was a closure on that chapter. Svechky's becoming a leader and a man, and I thought it was a really cool moment because for him to close out that series after that fight, I don't know, it just says a lot about him, and we're proud of the Canes, and the Latin American community is growing for the Canes. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Rodney. And again, I'll just echo this over as many times as I need to because I think it's that important. Love to hear new fans being made. Loved, and that's what these runs do, right? These runs, everybody, it's contagious. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and then, you know, hopefully, even when things are a little bit more sparse or a little bit leaner, that everybody sticks around and stays loyal, and that's how you kind of build these fandoms and communities. But yes, Svech, I mean, how about that, right? What was it, last year, first game, you just like, all right, I need a guy. Who's my guy? Svech. Now a year later in the postseason, he's scoring 8 goals. That's a great buy low right there. That's awesome. And you know, there's a lot of guys that would be really fun to root for on this team. Right, my 4-year-old son, he's locked on to Sebastian Aho. My wife, big Chatfield fan, because she was a field hockey player and played a defense, and you know, there's the story and everything. There's really no one that's not a great time to latch onto and make kind of your favorite player to track. It's a good team for that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up, and the starting 5, you guessed it, with the Canes winning, going to Eastern Conference Finals. It's Canes heavy. Stick around.
Let's go! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, go get the shot. Score!
Let's go, Canes!
The Chetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go, Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we want to be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards. Hey everybody, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. MLB Rivalry Weekend is here, and you can score bigger winnings for the big game with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because when bragging rights are on the line, FanDuel is giving customers a profit boost for tonight's Atlanta Braves versus Boston Red Sox matchup. You can ride with your side on who you think is going to win, which slugger is going to go yard, plus so much more. And if your bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. Don't miss your chance to make bragging rights even sweeter. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get in on all the MLB Rivalry Weekend action. That's FanDuel.com/Paul and claim your profit boost for tonight's game. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken fillet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. We're watching out for some late evening thunderstorms tonight. Any that do develop could be severe. Our low just 73. Saturday morning, there could actually be some rain and thunderstorms around, but it looks drier for the Triangle during the afternoon. It's hot and humid, 93 the high, but at least it's breezy.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell up 332 points to 42,464. I'm sorry, 42,654. My apologies on that one. Weather update. You know what? I'm all over the place here, Tim. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org. It's 5 o'clock. Y'all know what time it is.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes make the Eastern Conference Finals, and we all get a little chaotic.
Can't confirm.
Yeah, there it is. But no matter what, steady Eddie, we always have the starting five at 5. So let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with the number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chikrin has it knocked away by Jarvis. Now Jarvis has an empty net. Jarvis, bingo! The Canes, 26.1 seconds away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right, I'm going to let you know how this is going to go. Starting 5 a little different today. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are in relation to the Canes going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're all themed by the number. Starting with number 5, 5 road games the Canes have played in the postseason. They've won 3. Of their 5 road games, they are 3-2.
But I thought they couldn't win on the road, Tim.
I thought this was the team with 31 home wins, and on the road they struggle. I thought this is the team that the Canes system doesn't work on the road. I thought this was a team that when you don't get to pick the matchups, when you don't get second change, it's not going to be the same. 5-0 at home, by the way. They're still that. It's not like they traded home dominance for road pretty good. No, they just added road pretty good to home dominance. And on top of that, 10 games, fewest played of the teams still remaining in the postseason. It's big. It's those little things that add up, right? The last 7 years, what have the Canes learned? Could be an inch, right? You never know what one play, what one thing, what 1% is going to hold you back from your ultimate goal. Something like having one more day's rest than the team you're playing. Something like having one more healthy guy because he didn't have to play an extra game than the team you're playing. That's sometimes the difference, right? Because and shout out to, I forget who it was, somebody on social media. I wish I had your name. I'd give you credit. Brought up something that we're going to explore between rounds. That said, the gift and the curse of Rod Brindamore is he's better at getting more with less. And the argument was the 3 teams that he's coached that have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals were the three of the three least talented of the teams the rosters he's coached since becoming head coach of the Canes. And I have to do some more research before I completely co-sign, but there's probably an argument for that. But this year, despite, on paper not being as talented as even last year, I think the health has something to do with it. They're a very healthy team, and I think that's because they've ended series early. They've gotten the rest they need. They clinched their spot in the postseason early enough to get guys rested at the end of the regular season. That's important, and that's why they have some confidence heading into the Eastern Conference Finals. Here is Andrei Svechnikov, playoff Svech, empty net Svech, talking about the team's confidence.
I think we already been in a conference final, and we know what's going to happen there. Like I said, it's not going to be easy there, and we'll see who we're going to play against, but this is the time for us to take it, relax a little bit, and get ready for the next games.
Sounds good to me. That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Now a long breakout pass for Dubois. Dubois breaks in, backhand chance. Anderson makes the save. Oh my goodness, Mr. Anderson.
Number 4 is the 4th win of the series, is the toughest. Yesterday, I had an observation, right? So I'm watching the game. I would say about 10 minutes left in the third is when you really felt, tie game, you really felt Washington hear the ticking clock, right? They start having the flashes of our season could be over, and they got desperate. And that, by the way, that's why the final win, the closeout game is always the toughest, because the opposing team starts to get that crazy look in their eye because they know if they don't win, if they don't do something, their season is over. It's about 10 minutes left, you start feeling it. Or I started feeling that the Caps were feeling it. And what do? They start, their forwards start forechecking and backchecking it way more aggressively. They start going after every loose puck with everything they have. They start, their blue line starts skating forward rather than backward, right? They start being more aggressive. They stop being so picky with shot attempts and start like, hey, if I got an angle, I'm letting this bad boy fly. And the irony of it, as I'm watching the Caps do this, and I'm going, uh-oh, right? Because probably from 10 minutes left to 5 minutes left, Canes were on their heels a bit because Washington was they were forcing the issue. And I'm going, all right, Canes got to match the desperation. The Canes got to match the desperation here. They got to get the urgency. And it hit me. Game on the line, season on the line. Washington started playing like the Canes. The difference is the Canes play that way 5 minutes into the second period in an early December game against the Wild, right? Like the Canes play the way, and it's not easy. Play the way that other teams play when they're on their final thread of a season all the time. That's their system. And that just pure like stamina and lack of fatigue, it's impressive, right? When people talk about when you play for the Canes, you're exhausted at the end of every game, it's because you play like other teams play when they're emptying the tank all the time, right? The Caps don't play like the Canes until the Caps go, hey, we don't have a tomorrow to save anything for. Let's go out there and empty the tank. Then they start playing like the Canes.
And they still can't keep up.
And true. They're not used to it, right? Then they're newbies to that. But so everybody that says, oh, the Canes system is this, the Canes system is boring, the Canes system doesn't. It's like, well, listen, you don't play the Canes system until you're on life support, and then all of a sudden you're willing to give it a try. I think that says something about the Canes. I think that definitely says something about the Canes. By the way, let's hear from Spencer Carberry, the coach of the Caps, who pointed out, and I appreciate him for doing so, that the Caps struggles weren't just the Caps playing bad. They were due to what Carolina was doing.
All the things that we're going to talk about of shortcomings that we had. So whether that be special teams, 5-on-5, scoring, depth scoring, we can break it all down. The first part you have to look at is not the lack of that from the Washington Capitals, is how the Carolina Hurricanes did that to the Washington Capitals. That's where my head goes. So guys that didn't produce or didn't do this or XYZ, penalty kill, go down the list, they did a real good job. And the games were tight. And, you get a bounce one way, flip one of those games. Maybe it's a little bit different. But they, over the length of the 5 games of this series, they showed the quality of team that they are.
How about that? Before you go asking why our power play didn't score, you go try to figure out how to score on Kane's penalty kill, is basically what he's saying there.
Yeah, no one else has figured it out.
And before you say it to us, like, oh, why didn't this guy produce? Go say, all right, well, look at what Carolina did. They might have had something to do with it. It's a interesting way to go about it for the coach who just lost the series, but it's, hey, honesty. As number 4, let's hit number 3.
Stahl gets a chance, and he scores! There's a huge goal for the captain as he consumes his first in the series, and the Canes have a 1-0 lead.
Number 3, the 3 goal scorers for the Canes yesterday. Jordan Stahl in the first, and a long gap. Andrei Svechnikov, the go-ahead goal with about 2 minutes left. Seth Jarvis, empty net Seth, with a empty netter to seal it with about 30 seconds left. We went into yesterday talking about top guys need to play like top guys. Stahl, Svech, Jarvis, some of your core, some of your highest paid guys, some of your top guys taking advantage of opportunities. And oh, by the way, Jarvis went crossbar post. Svech had some other really good opportunities. Like, it wasn't just those plays. The top guys played like top guys. One of the top guys, though, that didn't score is Sebastian Aho. Didn't even get a shot on goal yesterday. Didn't score in the series at all. One of the more confounding superstars I have covered in my career in sports media. Because every superstar, maybe not every, that might be, right, because somebody's going to point out most superstars in those moments, they need the goal. They want the goal. They crave the goal. Aho didn't. He had 7 hits, led the team, tied with Stahl. He was +2, or the team was +2 when he was on the ice. He played really well. He really well in the face-off circle.
10 of 16.
Forced quite a few turnovers, did obviously the back checking and everything else. And then Stahl, Jarvis, and Svech were there to score the goals. It's like I have a really hard time even wrapping my brain around Sebastian Aho, because I think he's really gosh darn good. I think he's really underrated. I fight for him to be included in conversations in a league-wide scenario that he's very rarely included in. But I just don't think it's ever going to happen because he's willing to not score goals. Right? A superstar, through the first 4 games of a series, you're up 3-1, had 0 goals scored, and he didn't seem desperate to score a goal in Game 5. That's rare. That's rare. There's a bunch of guys that'll go 2 games, 3 games, and they'll be, I'm just not getting the looks. But, you get to 4, you get to 5, you get to entire series, they start demanding the puck. They start getting aggressive. He just lets the game come to him. And it's funny.
He does so much other stuff that's like winning plays, winning hockey. Great defensive player.
Yes.
Out there killing penalties. Does all this other stuff.
Not denying any of that. It's just the reason it pains me is because I do think it will keep him out of some conversations. Right? Carberry after the game said, I don't know how Jacob Slavin isn't in the running or in the top list for the Norris Trophy every single year, best defenseman. And I'm going, you don't know. It's because you have to score a bunch of goals to be in the running for the Norris Trophy, which logically doesn't make a ton of sense.
It doesn't.
But if you have to score a bunch of goals to win the Norris Trophy, you darn sure have to score a bunch of goals to be considered amongst the top forwards in the league, because that actually does kind of make a little bit of sense. So until Aho does that, or if he never does that, I think he's going to be kind of gate-kept out of some stuff. But goodness gracious if it's not winning hockey. So Stahl, Svech, Jarvis, they took care of the goal scoring. And also a lot of the other stuff. They're also two-way hockey players. But Aho was like, cool, you guys got that. I'll do everything else. And then it worked. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us. Strome takes a look. Ovechkin shot. Save made by Anderson, and he pounces on the rebound.
If you've been paying attention, you know what number 2 is going to be. It's going to be 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold. Hit it, Dennis.
I've got 2 minutes for 2 moments that help decide the second round series. Carolina beating Washington 4-1. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. There were a lot of moments in this series. Sean Walker's goal to make it 4-2 in Game 4. Taylor Hall's goal to make it 3-1 in Game 4. Any number of Frederick Anderson saves. The Jacob Slavin overtime game winner in Washington in Game 1. But 2 goals turned this series into a Hurricanes 4-1 win and really sets Carolina up going forward. Let me take you back to Game 3. Washington has dominated the first 30 minutes. Carolina got a good shift, an offensive zone draw, and the top line came out on the ice.
Well, now there's 7:29 left here in the second. The Canes have been aggressive in this game. Now Svechnikov comes in off the draw, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
We have been waiting for these moments for Andrei Svechnikov's entire career. These moments, playoff moments, where Andrei takes over games. Individual effort right off the face-off. Carolina wins that game 4-0. It starts with Andrei's goal. I still can't hear from being in Lenovo Center for that one. And then last night, just under 2 minutes left, from a sharp angle, not a great goal for Logan Thompson to allow, but
now here's Jarvis. Could be a 3-on-2 for Carolina. Svechnikov. He'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov. He beats Thompson, and Carolina, with 1:59 to go, takes a 2-1 lead.
Andrei does it again. Carolina traded for Mikko Rantanen for a reason. They wanted one of those players to help them in the playoffs. Can Andrei Svechnikov be one of those? Look, there's only about 6 of them on Earth, but Andrei can be a pretty good replica of one of those. And if he continues playing the way he's playing and Aho and Jarvis start scoring, we might have a month's worth of hockey left. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. And because of Andrei, I'm going to get a whole weekend's worth of sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off for the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold. I think it's a good point that the Canes have tried multiple times in the last couple of seasons to go get that elite playoff goal scorer, that elite playoff goal scoring winger. Tried with Gensel. He did his best. I thought he played well. Didn't end up working. Meaning from a team perspective, didn't end up getting the W's that you wanted. They tried with Mikko Rantanen. Didn't end up working almost immediately. Only to perhaps discover that he was already on the roster. Andrei Svechnikov's like, why do you guys keep trying to get an elite wing playoff scorer? I could have just asked. I'll do it. I was out there, second leading goal scorer in the NHL. Postseason, thus far. And Mikko is the other one. He's number 1, but he played in 2 more games than Andrei, so give him time. See what happens. That was number 2. Let's hit number 1.
Now here's Jarvis. Could be a 3-on-2 for Carolina. Svechnikov. He'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov. He beats Thompson, and Carolina, with 1:59 to go, takes a 2-1 lead.
What could number 1 be? We're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For the Canes win in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs and going to the Eastern Conference Finals. What could 1 be? How about the one and only Freddie Andersen between the pipes? How about Freddie, gosh darn Anderson? Fredzilla. How about Freddie between the pipes getting the praise that he deserves, because it all really starts with him. There were points in this series where the spark to get things rolling early was a great chance given up by the Kane skaters and Freddie coming up with the save. That is a risky game to play. Like, all right, Freddie's going to be our ignition switch here, so we got to let him show off early. He's got to make a couple crazy saves. Let's get Tom Wilson 30 seconds in on a breakaway. Freddie was there. He made it happen. That actually happened. Rod Brindamore was asked how well Freddie has played in the playoffs, and this was his response after the game.
It doesn't get understated because we always talk about goaltending. It's just so important, and I think this is the best he's played since he's been here for it because of that. What you just said is that all of a sudden we have that breakdown and there's a save, and he bails us out, and that's what great goaltending does for a team, and obviously we hope that continues.
Yeah, I would say we hope it continues, right? And if I were a superstitious person, we may not even want to be talking about it, right? Because part of me is I want to make sure everybody is talking about Freddie constantly based on how he's played through his first 9 games this postseason. But I could understand if there's those of you out there that are maybe of the more stitious variety, a little superstitious, that may be treating it almost like a no-hitter. Like whatever headspace he is in, we don't want to touch it. We don't want to do anything to mess with it. I've heard some people saying, I hope he gets to play against his old team, right? And maybe get some revenge. And I'm going like, I don't know. I don't know if we want to put any other thoughts into his whatever he's doing now, and he's not playing against his former team. Just keep it the exact. I want him eating the same breakfast. I want him riding in the same lane on the highway going to the arena. Like what's happening right now with Freddie is all good. It is all good. And that's why I think it should be praised, right? There are teams that get upended by a goalie going on a cold streak. There are games that get propped up by their goalie going on a hot streak. The latter, right? He's playing very, very well. The timeliness of the goals, or the timeliness of the saves is what I meant to say there. And when goals have been allowed, although there weren't many of them, but when goals have been allowed, the reset, the lock back in, making plays on the next one, it's huge. It can't be overstated. It's for as good as the blue line has played, and it's been unbelievable, and they deserve a lot of credit for how well Freddie's played. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? They each build off of each other. There were a lot of and maybe not even a lot, but there were some high-profile mistakes made that Freddie just wiped off, right? Like, you know what? No harm, no foul. No goal was scored. Lock back in. It's given everybody a different kind of confidence. They took – where was watching? They were, what, top 3 goal scorers, scoring team in the league this year? Second. There you go.
Yeah, top 3.
They were top 3, but I sold them short. Top 2. Top 3, and they weren't 3. They scored 7 goals in the series. Now, you can give credit to the skaters, and you should, but a lot of that has to fall on Freddie, right? A lot of that has to fall on the guy between the pipes. So the number 1 for the starting 5 is Freddie Andersen.
So if you look at the advanced numbers of the series as a whole, all 5 games, the Washington Capitals were expected, based off, again, all the advanced numbers and analytics, expected to score 14. They only scored 7.
Yeah.
Literally half.
Yeah.
Half of expected. Of all the goalies in the playoffs that have played at least one game, look at goals saved above expected. So the expected number of goals allowed versus the actual total. Frederik Andersen has saved 12.2 goals above expected. So based off, again, advanced numbers and all that stuff, he should have allowed 24 goals in his 9 games. He's only given up 12.
He's been playing really, really well.
That's insane.
He's been playing really – it's a lot of numbers to say Freddie good. Like that's what's going on here.
Good. That's 100% what that is.
And if the level he's playing continues, which is a big if, right? And you're going to be facing whether it's Toronto or Florida, it's going to be a very different beast. But if the level he's playing continues, it is one of those the sky's the limit situations, and where the Canes go from here is if I were a weather person, like it's sunny skies, right? Outlook good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have a numbers game coming up. We will get to the numbers game, but first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. We talk about people that you can count on, especially when in times of need, that being there when you expect them to be. That's where Law Tigers comes in if you're a motorcycle rider. Law Tigers is there for you if you're a motorcycle rider and you're injured in a motorcycle accident. And the key thing about motorcycle riding is that you got to make sure that you have everything protected, that you're doing everything right. But even still, accidents do happen. And again, this is where Law Tigers steps in for you. Law Tigers, the attorneys representing in part of Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and they don't get paid a dime until your case settles. So there are people that you can count on and rely upon when you get in an accident. Contact them even before you contact the insurance companies. Insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, again, they are looking out for you. They are part of that motorcycle riding community. They are part of that family. They're there to watch out for you. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs numbers game contestants. It is our last day having Keith Urban tickets going to the winner. So if you want to win a pair of tickets to see Keith Urban, Chase Matthew, and Alana Springsteen at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st, you have to call in now and you have to win. We need 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 to play the numbers game. Coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
Good night, Ovi. Good night, lights. Good night, Tom's dreams of playoff fights. Good night, pucks and sticks that flew. Good night, fans in red and blue. Good night, Caps. The run is done. Carolina's Storm has won. Good night, hopes. Good night, cheer. Good night, heartbreak. See you next year.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Your home shelters your dreams and protects your memories. At Baker Home Exteriors, we understand this deeply. It's why we've dedicated ourselves to caring for homes like yours. As part of the Baker Roofing family, we bring a century of expertise to every project, from roofing and siding to windows and decks. We don't just upgrade homes, we help protect the life you've built within them. Because your home is where our heart is. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and start your home's next chapter.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Are you ready for a global summer showdown? Thursday, June 19th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Football legends collide at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Inter Miami and FC Porto. Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba taking on Diogo Costa and Rodrigo Mora. Don't miss your chance to be part of history. Grab your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is not Led Zeppelin. This is
Get the Let Out.
Get the Let Out.
A celebration of the Mighty Zap.
Recreating the Mighty Zap's iconic studio recordings just the way you remember them.
Get the Let Out returns to DPAC this Saturday night. Tickets going fast at dpacnc.com.
Get the Let Out.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Joe and Gardner. We have Scott and Wilson. And they are going to battle it out in the numbers game for tickets to see Keith Urban. Coastal Credit Union Music Park, end of the month, the 31st. As always, we have to ask a question. Same question to both. They will answer it. Dennis will pick their favorite answer, or his favorite answer out of the two. And that person will get to go first. It is a simple way that we kind of get things rolling here on the numbers game. Scott and Wilson, you are up first. Are you ready to answer?
Yes, sir.
All right. This became more complicated when the Canes ended the series and gave us the weekend off from hockey. The weekend is staring us in the face. It's 5:30 on a Friday. What are you most looking forward to about the weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
PGA Tour.
All right, PGA Championship up there in Quail Hollow. All right, you are locked in. We'll see what Joe answers. Joe, same question to you. What are you looking forward to most about the weekend? And because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
Well, I've got my positive boots on, and you say we've got a weekend off from hockey. I'd like to think we still have some hockey this weekend. I need to see a 7-game series out of Florida and Toronto, and I need to see another game with Dallas and Winnipeg. So I think that would help us further down in the playoff series.
Look at you working a loophole there.
Okay. All right.
Dennis, which answer are we rolling with?
This is a good one. Quail Hollow, obviously, PGA Championship right here in the state of North Carolina. But I am also wanting to see Toronto and Florida go to a Game 7. Game 6 is tonight. I want to see them play in a Game 7 on Sunday. Let those two teams just beat each other up. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna go Joe and Garner on this one. Both really good answers though.
All right, so Joe and Garner gets to go first. Don't worry, Scott, though. You will have your chance. Just have to sit on hold there for a second or two. Joe, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, with the Canes for sure.
You don't want to even hear the other categories?
I don't even want to hear them. Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Rolling with the Canes. I have high expectations for you. Go ahead and get ready because I'll read the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. Even though we know the team in this category, I will still say it just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
51.
Incorrect. Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes.
37.
Correct. Jack Drury, Carolina Hurricanes.
12. No.
Incorrect. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
49.
Incorrect. Jack Drury, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
41.
Incorrect. Jack Drury, Carolina Hurricanes.
God, I just saw him play last night, and Drury, 21. Good Lord.
What did you say for Jack Drury there right at the end?
21.
Probably should have said that for Nikishin. Nikishin's number 21. Drury wore both 18 and 72 during his time with the Canes. Luckily, you had Svech, right? I mean, you're like the Canes, right? Luckily, you have Svech because that's
terrible. And I had 18 in my head for Drury too.
There you go. Svech is the reason you didn't get the shutout. So stay on the line. We'll see if one holds up. You do win tiebreakers by way of going first. That means Scott and Wilson is up next. Scott, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL Ed, and Eddies, all players whose first name is Ed, Eddie, and Edward. NFL 2005 draft picks, or NBA Chris Paul's all-time teammates?
I'm going to go with the 2005 draft.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need at least 2 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers.
12.
Correct. Derek Johnson, Kansas City Chiefs.
56.
Correct. DeMarcus Ware, Dallas Cowboys.
94.
Correct. Derek Anderson, Cleveland Browns.
18.
Incorrect. Justin Tuck, New York Giants.
91.
Correct. Derek Anderson, Cleveland Browns.
12.
Incorrect. Derek Anderson, Cleveland Browns.
14.
Incorrect. Derek Anderson, Cleveland Browns.
8.
Incorrect. Derek Anderson, Cleveland Browns. Just for funsies, what was your next guess going to be?
It would have been 17.
All right, so you didn't miss it. Number 3 is what Anderson wore with the Browns.
Okay.
But 4 out of 5 is a very good score, more than deserving of the Keith Urban tickets. So congratulations, you are the winner.
Thank you very much.
All right, Keith Urban, by the way, will be joined by Chase Matthew and Alana Springsteen at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st.
I thought we were going to end the week on a high note.
I thought that was good. That was good.
That was good.
Derek Anderson with the Browns. That's
tough.
It's not an easy
tough
one. I thought he might just start going because he knew I was only going to keep saying the name. I thought he might go 1, 2, 3, and with 3, I thought he had a chance. But he kept peppering the teens. But again, I can't blame you for not knowing Derek Anderson on the Cleveland Browns number. Although he did have a little bit of a hot stretch. I bet you they didn't realize how much they were going to miss him at quarterback. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the PGA Championship. Here's the current leaderboard presented by Wilson Country Club. As I bring up the leaderboard here, I don't know what happened. Something happened with Rory just because I know one of my golf group chats was going nuts with one of his shots. So you might want to look that up. He is 2 under on the day, but still all the way back at +1 on the tournament through 12 holes today. He is tied for 60th, flirting with that cut line. All the way at the top, as we look at the leaderboard, Johnny Vegas, 8 under par. He finished earlier this morning, or in the morning flight, I guess you could say the early wave. He is 2 clear of everybody at 8 under par on the tourney. Matthew Pavon, Alex Smalley, and Matt Fitzpatrick making a little bit of a run are in a tie for second at 6 under par. Ryan Gerard, the local guy, Raleigh native, played his college golf at UNC. He is even on the day through 9 holes. 5 under on the tournament, played very well yesterday, was actually atop the leaderboard for a good portion of yesterday. He's still in the top 5, tied for 5th with Max Homa, who had a very, very good day today, went 7 under in the second round. As we scroll down here, Scotty Scheffler has played his way into the top 10. He is now tied for 7th, 4 under par on the tournament. He is on through 12 here in the second round. Bryson DeChambeau, who is part of that early wave, done for the day, 3 under on the tournament. That's good for a tie for 12th. Heading into the weekend. See what else you might be interested in. Victor Hovland tied for 25th, 2 under par in the mix, as is Cam Davis and Adam Scott, a couple of Aussies. John Rahm tied for 25th, 2 under par. Akshay Bhatia, who I believe is a resident of the Triangle, 2 under par, tied for 25th, still just on the 11th now as the second round cranks along. Doesn't look like Justin Thomas, doesn't look like Hideki Matsui will be making the cut. Doesn't look like, let me see, Xander Schauffele is going to have to do some work to make the cut, still out on the course. So there's some big names flirting with that cut line. We'll see how it all plays out. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have to make some picks. We have to talk about Nikishin. The prospect made his debut yesterday and had goods and bads. We'll talk about it all, but first, we have to talk about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Right now, it's a great time to start thinking about cooling maintenance. Actually, right, the hometown team wins, ends the series. Suddenly you got more time on the weekend, right? Might be outside doing some things because it's getting nice out. You know what? When you fire up the grill for the first time, you should also think about calling up Maynard Service Company. That could be your little trigger. When you're going to be hanging out outside barbecuing, boom, call Maynard Service Company because that means it's getting hot. And when it's getting hot, it means you're going to be cranking that AC. And when it's cranking that AC, you want to make sure everything's running right. A little cooling maintenance can take away some headaches in the future. Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, or electric, you want to keep this number in mind. 919-361-0993. It's Maynard Service Company. Get them out there for some maintenance checks on your cooling system. 919-361-0993, or visit them online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We make some picks. We talk Nikishin. We send you to the weekend in the proper manner. Coming up here on The Drive. Stick around.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 16th through 18th at the Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for Clayton Homes. And as you know, here in North Carolina, summers heat up. And so are those deals at the Clayton Homes Sign and Save event. Right now, you can save up to $5,000 instantly on a brand new home. That's $2,500 off a single section or $5,000 off a multi-section home. And you know these homes are built tough in state-of-the-art facilities that protect them during construction. And you know every home is loaded with Energy Smart features, giving you comfort, efficiency, and long-term savings. And with tons of floor plans and fully furnished models, it's easy to find your perfect match. Visit your local Clayton Homes or Oakwood Homes or check out limited time offers now at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. But don't wait. The Clayton Homes Sign and Save event ends August 31st. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through 8/31. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before. Oh, yeah! Big money! Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Down on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. This Hour of the Drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Chickman has it knocked away by Jarvis. Now Jarvis has an empty net. Jarvis, bingo! The Canes, 26.1 seconds away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Alexander Nikishin debuted. Not just his NHL postseason debut, not just his NHL debut, his North American hockey debut came in a potential closeout game, which ended up being a closeout game, in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs against, I would assume, his idol, or at least for part, like somebody that his home country worships as a hockey player in Alexander Ovechkin.
Someone held in high regard?
Yes. Alexander Nikishin debuted Game 5 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs and helped contribute to sending Alexander Ovechkin out of the playoffs. That's a story for the grandkids. That's cool, right? That's one you keep with you. From a team perspective, you've taken the wrapping off your new toy, right? It's like the first time, Dennis, you'll appreciate this. The first time you wear a nice pair of sneakers outside.
Go on.
And it's like it's no longer on ice. Right now they are shoes that I wear. Right? Now it's a player who's been out there, right? The seal has been broken, whatever you want to call it. It's no longer a figment of my imagination. It's no longer that would be cool. It is what it is. And the best thing you can say is it didn't cost you. It flashed, right? He flashed some pretty darn impressive skills. He also was very obviously a rookie out there who doesn't speak the language and was figuring things out as he went. And you won the game. That's all. That's the best thing you can say, right? Jalen Chatfield hopefully got the rest he needs to be ready to go for the Eastern Conference Finals. Nikishin showed the things that make you so excited about him as a player and a future prospect or future core member, hopefully, of the Canes. Heavy shot, size, speed, fluidity, all of those things.
The physicality stands out. Just how physically big he is.
Was it
it's noticeable.
Was it Marzipan? Tried
Mangiapane? Yeah.
We'll get there.
Him too. He doesn't matter. He's not playing anymore.
True. Tried to kind of, we got the rookie. Let me go from first shift, go light him up. He full speed into Nikishin, and then he fell back, and Nikishin didn't move. It looked like a fourth grader running into a senior of high school. Just like, ooh, sorry. Oh, did you get yourself there? My bad. That's all good. Because the Canes won, there's no harm, no foul. Because the goal that the Caps scored was called back due to offsides, no harm, no foul on the mistake that set it up from Nikishin.
Yeah, the very bad turnover.
Yeah, that's a great way to learn.
Yeah,
you got the film of the bad turnover. The goal doesn't even count. It was a lot of that. But then also, did he pick Ovechkin's pocket? Yes, he did. Did his first shot register 92 miles per hour? You're darn right. Did he look every bit of 6'4", 215 pounds of fluid athlete? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go think about it. Sit on the bench while the rest of the blue line comes back healthy until we need you again. That's kind of the way I look at it.
The shift where he showed his potential, like you mentioned in the third period, where he took the puck away from Ovechkin, got the puck out of the zone, Stankoven tracks it down, they get an offensive possession, and then you see Nikishin unleash his shot a couple times on that exact same possession. You're like, oh, okay. Like, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there it is. a long way to go to be playing in the National Hockey League.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see, yep, he might be the Canes' the second best defenseman on the team next year.
Yep.
But he's not quite ready for it now.
And it could have been first game jitters and all of that.
Oh, 100%.
If you do have to go to him due to an injury in the Eastern Conference Finals or beyond, I think you're going to really like that you had this game yesterday to ease him in, if that was eased in, if that's possible. Let's make some picks real quickly here before the top of the hour, and we pass you off to NC State baseball, which is you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Okay, a game that matters tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes. Florida Panthers at home taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Florida Panthers heavily favored at home in Game 6 with a 3-2 series lead.
I want to make this clear. I don't care who the Canes face in the Eastern Conference Finals. Right? I think you're going to face a good team in the Eastern Conference Finals, regardless of who it is. They're going to bring unique challenges. I don't care. I hope the Canes want Florida. As competitors, I hope they've been chomping at the bit to see Matthew Tkachuk in an Eastern Conference Finals again. They've been dreaming about what they would do to him if they get that chance. As competitors, I hope that's what they want. As a gambler, I would guess that's what they're going to get. And it's probably going to be, Toronto has their issues, right? And it looks like it's as much between the ears as it is on the ice. So, yeah, give me Florida in that one.
Toronto's issue is that they're Toronto. That's their issue.
Yeah, maybe it's not between the ears. It's written across the front of your sweater.
Exactly. That's their issue. Florida minus 230 on the money line in that one. Let's actually go real quick. Tomorrow there's a big NHL game. It's a Game 6 as well. Stars at home taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Stars got blanked last night in Winnipeg 4-0. Dallas minus 155 at home to close out that series.
Yeah, it felt like the burst, the one-game bump of your back against the wall kind of went to Winnipeg there. I think Dallas is pretty darn talented.
Yep.
Without giving too much praise to somebody that we're petty against. I think they're a pretty darn talented roster. I think that would be an electric Stanley Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Connor Hellebuck on the road stinks as a goalie. So give me Dallas in this one relatively easy. Tonight, NBA game, 8 o'clock Eastern. The Celtics on the road at the New York Knicks. Celtics trying to stave off elimination here. Down 3-2 again. No Jason Tatum with that Achilles injury. Knicks 2.5-point favorites at home in the Garden.
Yeah, I think they got their one-game bump, right? Tatum got hurt the next game. They win one for Tatum. They Derek White was making shots. Luke Cornett had a bajillion blocked shots. I think the Knicks get this one, simply because of everything I just said, right? Without Tatum, you're not better. Which is what it looked like for the first game without Tatum. That's that one-game bump I talk about, right? Win one for the Gipper. Win one for the Tatum. You go out there and you play above your level for a game. Then you come back down to earth. I think the Knicks get it.
All right, Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder. This game is on Sunday. Game 7. Winner goes to the Western Conference Final. Oklahoma City at home, 7.5-point favorites in Game 7.
As a gambler, I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
It's better team versus best player, which I don't know which one you want in Game 7. The OKC is more talented top to bottom, but that Jokic guy, pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. You know what's going to be really hard to explain 50 years from now? How the guy with a vertical jump of 1.5 inches dominated the NBA for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
We're just be like, no, you don't understand. He was big. He moved slow, and he shot it high, but nobody could stop it. It happened. I promise. I was there. So I'm not betting on it, but if I'm betting on it, I guess I'd go OKC out of necessity. I'm definitely not picking them to cover 7.5, but to win, I think I would go OKC. So I guess with the spread, give me Dallas. Or give me Denver.
Final one here. We have 30 seconds left here in the show. Who wins the PGA Championship? Give me a name.
Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, okay.
He's the best guy who's kind of flirting with that stalking area. Everybody else seems to be fighting for their life just to make the weekend. NC State baseball is coming up next. Thank you to Will Wade for joining us, NC State basketball coach earlier today. State, I believe it's Stanford coming up next right here on 99.9 The Fan. Enjoy the weekend. No Canes. Enjoy the weekend. Have fun. Be ready for the Eastern Conference Finals next week. See ya.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay is my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles.